Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Tabletop Travel Agency, where we will be continuing our tour of Girl by Moonlight. So this is our second episode. If you missed us the first time, our dear player Rachel is going to give us a quick recap of what you missed.
Last time on our Girl by Moonlight stream, we were attending a funeral for our friend Elena Maldonado, and then directed by Jackson's dad, Fleet Admiral Tyler Eiffel, to go fetch her engine from on the planet Earth. We encountered a group of nomads who lived outside the city limits, and Theo offered to bring them to safety on his robot body, which they accepted very begrudgingly. He brought them to safety, and Terry discovered that trees bend under certain circumstances. We encountered a group of baby Leviathans hidden under Elena's corpse. Very spooky. And then Jackson threw Theo at him. It worked. Sally and Jackson were able to free Elena's body and return to the Bastion. I got everything.
All right, so, since we last left off, and you guys returned to the Bastion, notably holding on to the sort of suitcase, briefcase form of Elena's engine, Nocturne, a sort of stressful 12 or so hours have passed. You all went to bed after sealing this little briefcase of an engine inside of, I believe, Icarus for now?
Yes.
Yeah. And when you wake up in the morning and head to, the mess hall, as you often do, General Draco is there, seemingly waiting for you. For you.
Oh,
The
boy.
collective you,
The
the
collective
royal
us.
we.
Oh, boy.
And you look to see the 3 remaining members of B Team are already there, looking about as excited for this as you would imagine. He himself is already clearly not in a good mood. He's got that sort of deep tomato redness he gets in his face when
Draco face.
an unpleasant. Yes, you're deeply familiar. He looks like he's about to pop several vessels somewhere. And his face is almost just twitching, just trying to retain a neutral emotion. And as you guys walk in, you haven't even gotten to get your food yet before he looks at everyone and he says, "Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I don't know who has Nocturne right now, but what I do know is that the Bastion representatives will be here tomorrow to reclaim the engine. If it gets back to me by tomorrow, there will be no questions asked. If it does not, there will be consequences."
Like questions?
Paperwork? What are we talking about?
People in here will no longer have jobs.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
A missing engine is serious.
So, what, you're gonna, I don't know, fire one of us and have useless engines
I'm not going to
instead
do
of one?
anything. What they decide to do, if I don't have an engine to give them tomorrow, is not up to me, it's not up to your father, and it certainly is not up to you.
Well, Draco, this has been lovely.
He's
we just got up.
Physically shaking.
Everybody just got up.
It's Pancake Day.
It's Pancake Day.
So,
I was thinking pancakes. You know what?
I know.
Pancake
Terry,
day.
you know what? It's Pancake Day. Terry, do you mind getting the captain some pancakes?
Oh, I would love to get him some pancakes.
Thank you, Terry.
And
Like
Terry,
about to blow several gaskets.
Terry is clearly amused by how angry he is and the fact that he's getting him pancakes.
Go ahead, get him pancakes, Terry.
And Terry just wanders off to go get pancakes.
Why don't we do this? Why don't you go get him some pancakes? Why don't you go
Are we
sit?
on it?
Why don't you go sit? There's a nice little corner booth over there, and me and the engineer can talk to you about this, huh? We can get down to the bottom of it together.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to argue. I don't want pancakes.
Oh.
What I want...
So, what do you want?
I want Nocturne in front of me by tomorrow for when Bastion gets here.
So then how is it... Okay, so just help me out here, just because, like, you know, I'm sure my dad gave you enough of a rundown about me. I'm a little slow in the uptick on these things. So, like, you want it in your office, even though you claim that you'll face no consequence and this has nothing to do with you, and that the pilots are the ones facing the flak. So then, I mean, like, sue me for suggesting, General, Dr., Lord, whatever, you are involved. Why?
He's just, like, breathing heavily through the nose at this point.
Terry makes his way back over with the pancakes. And he
Let's go eat pancakes!
He holds them out to Draco and he goes, you know what's worse than a bad morning? Soggy pancakes. And the pancakes are just slathered in syrup. They are the soggiest pancakes you've ever seen. And he just is holding them out to Draco to take.
Jackson, do you have, like, a fork in your hand?
No, it's a plate of soggy pancakes.
Jackson reaches out and, like, rips some of the pancake off and eats it and goes, that's going to get soggy quick. Sounds like you need to eat pancake. And we can pin this? Yeah, we can pin it. It seems really pinnable. Terry, do you mind getting me, like, a coffee or something? This seems like we're going to move on from this. Let's... breakfast, guys? Breakfast?
He is going to, at this point, brush past you, Terry, and probably on purpose, there's going to be pancake and syrup on you now.
Oh, man.
And as he's standing in the doorway, he says, tomorrow. No questions.
Not a pancake guy, I take it, all right?
Not a pancake guy, and I guess I'll just say it outright. Goodbye. You can go.
He's already...
Which is great because he outranks you.
That's great.
You hear the sound of, like, something slamming, like, hitting the wall, like...
So,
I'm gonna get pancakes.
didn't we already get the engine? Wasn't that what we...
Shush.
Like,
Okay.
everyone
This is one of
else
them
is in
subtle
their
moments,
Okay,
Theo.
all right.
I know me and you
Hold
were a
on.
little
Hold
hard
on.
at subtle.
Guys,
but-
team huddle. Okay.
The other people in the mess hall are not like,
You
just standing
two,
there.
I need you to somehow explain to him the concept of lying. Or, like, deceiving. I need you to do that. I am going to go talk to B Team, get them kind of all up to snuff on this whole deal. So, team break?
I have a quick suggestion. Can we do this after pancakes? And
No.
coffee? No, I'm gonna eat pancakes.
You know
what?
what? Okay.
happens when they get
You
cold?
explain lying. I'll talk to B Team.
But I'm not lying.
And you know what? You go get pancakes.
I'm gonna go get pancakes. Theo, do you want pancakes?
one thing I can't
I would love pancakes. And also to know what's going on.
Okay, Terry, just please. Just explain to him what's going on.
Theo, sometimes...
You're deeply sticky right now.
I'm just
Do you
like,
need a napkin? Several napkins?
thank
Here
you.
you go.
I'm wiping myself down as I'm talking to Theo. Theo, sometimes... Now, I'm not necessarily saying you should outright tell an untruth.
I understand the concept of lying.
Okay.
I just don't know why we're doing it right now.
Because we need, right, correct me if I'm wrong, you two are the smarter ones, I'll admit that. We went over my schooling's a little lacking.
I cannot hear you eat pancakes. This is disgusting. And he gets up and he walks to B Team.
If anyone asks you where Nocturne is, you don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect!
This is
He gets it.
great. You did a really good job.
I thought we brought Nocturne back and returned it through the proper channels.
That's perfect.
It is, in fact, within channels
It-
that one could consider proper.
It is, yes. There are proper channels, and Theo, this is perfect.
He's going to get us
Yes.
killed.
So, you might not see Nocturne for a bit, and Draco might be mad that he may not have Nocturne in the morning. That accent went weird. But he may not have Nocturne in the morning, but that is because you, in fact, do not know where Nocturne is. Understand?
It's perfect.
Yes.
Cool, then we're settled. Pancake time.
Pancake time. Oh, yeah.
And I am eating pancakes while covered in syrup. I'm just ready for these
You're just
pancakes.
making, like, unpleasant sticking noises as
I'm
you,
just,
like, try to move.
I'm just,
and
like,
you're
peeling off the seat.
All right. So,
He gets it.
I go up to
seems like
whoever
it.
is now currently captain of the team. Is that?
Dana.
I was gonna say that's Dana, right? Okay.
Yep.
I go up to Dana and I go, "Hey, Dana, you got 5 or 10?"
She
15?
just like watched all of that occur, and she slowly takes the pancake down from her mouth. I guess. Do I want to know?
If you're gonna eat pancakes as loudly as Sally did, you don't get to know. Just leave the pancakes. The pancakes can get soft. You can get more pancakes.
She's just staring at you like with the fork in her hand. I mean, did you want to share? I'm happy to listen, but I'm going to continue to eat the pancakes.
If you just
Sally's right, they get cold and gross.
I can tell where Sally is at all times when she's eating pancakes. Let's just sit down and talk. And he sits across from him. Okay.
I have a sneaking suspicion you have something to do with the fact that Draco doesn't have Nocturne right now.
And let's just say theoretically we do. This is all off the record, A, and B, theoretical. Entirely theoretical.
Sure.
You know, it's a theory hypothesis.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, let's say there was damage to the engine that currently, even in its folded up state, the theoretical corpse of your theoretical comrade is still locked inside of it and cannot be removed.
She wasn't, though, point of order, out of character.
Yeah.
You definitely, like...
Oh, we
Yeah,
took
we got
her out.
her
We
out.
took
I was
her
gonna say,
out.
she
That was the
pulled
whole
out.
thing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, you just want to see what's up with this thing, because it's broken.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Elena's
I
taking
forget.
care of.
So, theoretically, when we got there, theoretically, the machine, when she had died, theoretically, did not let her out. Now you can see that, like, this could be a problem, theoretically, if it were to be real, right? Like, you know, if the engines start treating the pilots like vital organs and holding on to them and not letting them out when they need to come out. That could be a problem. A little
Could
bit.
be a problem.
So let's say theoretically, my team has a chief botanist. And,
Which
You hear her over there, like...
and
I'm very quietly eating my pancakes.
You can hear me just sticking the stuff across the room.
Consciously, quietly.
and theoretically, our chief botanist, along with the chief mechanic of the engine, wants to see what that is. Right? That would behoove you to be interested in, theoretically. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and let's say all you had to do as, you know, my equal, well, I think I rank above you, probably.
Again, B-Team is just kind of your nickname for them.
She is, in fact, a captain, according to our notes.
Also,
That's great. In theory, you rank above me. In practice, you do not.
there's a lot of theories going on in this conversation.
Look, theoretically, it would be of our mutual interest if we had Nocturne for, say, 2 or 3 days longer than they want us to have Nocturne.
Well, I think theoretically, in the hypothetical situation you've outlined here, it would behoove you to try to do what you need to do within the next day.
It would.
If you would like to continue to have a job in order to
And that's the
pursue this further.
I'm over it. I've got to chat to Jackson. We got this. We can take care of this. I've got a plan lining up in my head. After pancakes. But we can definitely, I know that I said a few days. I think that we can get this handled maybe sooner.
So,
And we won't get in trouble. Maybe.
So-
We'll probably still get in trouble.
team captain to team captain, do you think paperwork-wise, physical work-wise, whatever, we can somehow drag this out for a couple more hours, or yes or no?
I think this is a matter of you criminally retaining government property, and there's not really any paperwork in the world that makes you not committing a crime right now.
Got it. Okay.
Hypothetically.
Yeah, hypothetically. Hypothetically entirely. And I reach behind me and I grab Sally's pancakes and I go, we have 48 hours
We have 24 hours.
You're right.
Let's...
I'll bring you pancakes.
You will?
Sure.
Yay!
Go. You, go. You two, go.
Terry, we should stop by your bunk and get you like
No.
a whole new everything.
No, you will stop. I will stop by his bunk. You two, we'll go.
I just walk off and hear from me sticking to the ground. I put a lot of syrup on those pancakes. I really hate Draco.
So much syrup.
It was more syrup than pancake.
We're gonna practice your ability to deceive. And so
I know how to lie!
let's just do this. You're coming with me. You two go together. As far as you and your team are aware, mislabeled in storage somewhere, probably. You don't know. Yeah.
They're small in that form. It's easy to misplace.
No, somebody put it in a crate or something somewhere.
Top
right?
men. Top
You
men.
know,
Right, got
Josh's
and-
still getting back from a mission. You can misplace
Right,
anything.
And if
Yeah.
and theoretically, if we need like an extra pair of hands or anything, the theoretical signal is that Icarus has the flu.
Yeah.
Are you? Oh, okay. I thought you were like having some sort of episode.
Can engines get
Might be a little bit of both.
I think he's doing what he calls lying.
Okay.
All right, you two downstairs.
We're going.
Can do.
Got it.
Look, the three of us will do what we can, but that's not much.
Just, and this is gonna sound really mean and kind of dark. Stay out of the way.
Whatever, Eiffel.
Just let us get to the bottom of this. Right? Okay. They're gone. You're coming with me.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So I'm going to head to try and figure out how intact our science equipment is so I can figure out a good way to analyze what we brought back. Because we got to take a look at it. And we now have a super big time crunch.
We do.
You do?
So there's only one freight elevator that goes to the hangar, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Be so unfortunate if something were to happen to that freight elevator, wouldn't it?
Be pretty crazy if we got locked in the hangar.
God, it would be. It would be pretty crazy if by the time the timer was about to go up, something happened to that elevator. Would also be, crazy if we had somebody who was so innocent that if they were seen in the elevator at the time, nobody would suspect a thing.
Are we talking about Theo?
Hey, dude, I don't mean to tell you this. I don't think you could touch anything on this ship without somebody thinking you're doing something wrong.
Maybe.
Even the flight controls to your own engine. Jury's out.
All right, well, that's a little mean, but I'll let it slide. It's Pancake Day after all.
It's Pancake Day.
Okay, great. I will go get pancakes. Why don't you go take a look at that freight elevator
Okay.
and tell me what you find. And I'll go have a conversation with my dad. And we'll do that.
So, if we would like to flavor this as the first part of your downtime,
Sure.
You each can feel free to pick an activity that aligns with your portion of this plan.
Oh, here they are, yes.
Oh, man.
It's on this.
Yeah, that seems like a paper that maybe oh, thank you.
All right. I will make a connection.
Yay! Okay, you're going to make a connection with Papa.
I'm gonna guess.
I assume he is probably.
I was going to say with the
or
other people by
long-term
bringing
project.
them pancakes.
Oh, yeah,
Actually,
sure. Whatever you
I was
want to
going to
do.
say.
Would that be more make a connection?
You said make.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was reading. I was reading make preparations.
I was
So that's what I
speaking
heard.
Sure, yeah. Who are you
That's
connecting
what I
with?
heard.
You gotta pick someone.
I'm stupid.
No.
Who do you love the most in this
Who
moment?
do I make a connection?
Aw.
You know what?
You gonna connect with your dad?
I'm gonna. You know, it doesn't say necessarily that connections have to be positive. It says
Just as me?
the person can help, like, if it's something they would like.
Yeah, they don't have to like it.
They don't have to like it if you suck about it.
If you suck about it.
What a very accurate reading of the rules. They don't. If it's something they would appreciate, it's
At least in the notes we're given.
You know, he like tongs up all pancakes and a bunch of bacon and whatever, and he goes to Theo and he goes, "Here, just bring it to them. It's just here."
Okay.
If they ask, I'm talking to my dad.
That's it? It felt like you were going somewhere with that. Do you want to talk about it? It seems like you have a weird relationship with your dad. I don't know, just something I've noticed.
The pancakes are getting soggy. Sorry.
Nobody likes soggy pancakes.
Nobody likes soggy pancakes.
Sorry, we're not talking about it.
All right, and I go up a flight of stairs and I take an elevator and I go to the flight deck, the whatever.
Okay,
name.
so I suppose you can try to earn some links with Sally before we do this, and it's going to depend on the state of those pancakes, I think, is really what it comes down to. So you can go ahead and make a roll for that you think is appropriate.
Express.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, Sally, would you appreciate this gesture?
Did you appreciate pancakes?
I appreciate pancakes. I appreciate the heck out of pancakes.
Go ahead and roll.
That is a 4 and a 2.
Okay, so 4. You will gain 3 links with Sally as Theo, you hurry back after them carrying a lot of pancakes.
I think Theo always walks a little bit faster than he needs to in
Yeah,
any
yeah.
situation. But especially now he's like, I've got to bring these pancakes.
Yes, the time is ticking.
It's true. Those pancakes have a very
Sure.
specific window.
So, like, no sooner have you guys started, like, heading back up to do whatever your business may be, where you hear the telltale sign of Theo just like,
I hear power walking.
and you look, and there is, like, hidden behind a stack of pancakes is Theo.
Jackson. Thanks,
No,
Theo.
it's Theo, but they did come.
I make like
Thank
little
you.
smiley faces out of eggs on them.
He does have a heart.
Thank you, Theo.
He went to go talk to his dad,
Oh boy.
so I brought the pancakes.
I owe him some pancakes.
Jackson. So you head over to the command bridge, down sort of like one of these hallways where near the front-ish of the ship, your father has an office. Presumably that you can't just walk into. You know, there's key cards.
I imagine, is there
You
like
haven't earned the
high or
special
low
debt
foot
you
traffic?
This time of day, not much, you know?
All right.
It's like-
He's just standing in front of the door like this.
the door opens as your dad is like about to walk out, and then he sees you, and you both are like,
It's that scene in Evangelion when the doors open and Gendo's just standing there.
Dad,
Jackson.
how's it going?
Not great, actually. I have a missing piece of extremely important government equipment that I need to produce within the next 24 hours.
Define need to.
Kind of the, basic definition of need, like a requirement for our continued existence. You and I both, I would say.
What, are they going to shoot us?
I wouldn't put it out of the question.
That would be really stupid of them. Well, to shoot me at least. I mean, I would rather not have, the 30-foot tall murder robot mad at me, but hey, it's their priority, I guess.
Right. Well, is this about the,
Yeah. So when Draco, when Draco comes in and he's all mad, is this like a he could also be shot along with the two of us kind of thing? Are we being shot or are we being ejected into space? Are we being shot?
I'm really not clear on which is going to happen, Jackson, and I'd rather not find out.
That's really unsettling.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. All right. When are those Bastion reps gonna be here? And does it have to be? So, we're pretty sure we misplaced. Mislabeled.
How do you misplace?
It's the size of a briefcase.
It was the whole.
You lost like 3 suitcases when we moved here.
Where
You
is this
lose
going?
things.
The pancakes only stay hot so long.
But why do we share a mess? Just where are the Bastion
Tyler
reps
wants to get to Pancake.
showing up? And do they need it to be in Draco's office? Right? Let's say, theoretically, we're going to check the whole hangar for it, but let's say we can't find it. Right? And that's an innocent mistake. Right? And
I don't care whose office it's in tomorrow morning, as long as I have an engine to hand back to Bastion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when are they landing? Like what time?
Morning.
I'm just trying to get a feel for my deadline here on, Terry's real bad at being real responsible
across
about stuff.
across the ship, like you
I
feel
just
a
sneeze,
pang.
Yeah, Terry's not great at. We think he needs contacts, something like that. Well, look, it might be. We might be doing this all night, so I just want to know when.
We can sit and belabor the exact time they're going to come all day. It's not going to fix when they come or when I need that in front of me.
Okay, got it.
I understand it's missing.
Missing.
Right. If you could produce it before tomorrow.
Okay. And if theoretically we can't,
I can answer this question for the third time. The answer's not going to change.
okay. And as my father, are you going to? Could I ask you to maybe find a deadline, give us some time, anything, or?
I don't know what you're expecting me to do here.
Great.
I'm doing
Well,
what
this
I can.
conversation has been lovely. Those pancakes are soggy, as usual. Bye, Dad. He just kind of walks.
All right. So what's everyone else up to?
All right.
Can I start?
Jackson's in the elevator, just.
Can I
He's
start?
doing that kid thing where he lost a fight with his dad, so he's
Oh, yeah.
making rude gestures in the direction of his office.
Shower conversation.
punching,
I would have.
no.
I should have said this. Oh man, it would have been so good.
Can I start a long-term project
Yes,
for
I
my downtime?
think so.
It's in the downtime list.
Yeah.
Yes, as long as you're not doing anything else with the ship, because we are still currently building the training facility, you can do a different long-term project
is
that isn't ship
It has to be
related.
rooms for the thing.
No, we
Okay.
can't do any other rooms, but if it's a different long-term project.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
I wanted to have Terry, despite what people think, he does know a bit about his engine, and because he saw what happened with Nocturne and Elena getting trapped inside, he wants to start running a deep diagnostic on Icarus, if he
Okay, so you want to do a real heart-to-heart with it.
can. Yeah,
Okay, sure.
but it's not the same as bonding with the engine. It's
Yeah, no, you're doing a tune-up on
yeah,
Icarus.
essentially
Sure.
trying to make sure everything's in working order and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that would be crazy long term. So let's say that's six progress little
So
bars.
there's segment things like here.
Yeah, makes sense.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, what does that look like? You head down to the hangar.
Yeah, so Terry's gonna head down to the hangar,
Okay.
and we have Nocturne inside Icarus, right? Isn't that where we
Yes,
left?
it's just
so
a little brief.
yeah, so Terry's gonna get into Icarus. He's gonna merge with Icarus for this,
Okay.
and he's just gonna kind of almost meditate inside Icarus because they have that mental connection that isn't as
Yes.
strong as Sally's, is
but
with
you still have
Terpsichore.
this
But
sort of
yeah, he can get a feeling for it. So he's gonna try and like see if he can feel out maybe like if that bond has gotten stronger with Icarus to the point where Icarus would try to keep him trapped inside, and maybe that's what happened to Elena, or if there's something else he can feel might be wrong. And he has Nocturne there with him.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
So
What sort of roll would you like to make for this?
can I do perceive?
Yeah, sure.
Because I have a point in that. It's gonna be 1, right?
You have links with Icarus, right?
I do have a link with
I
Icarus.
feel like you could probably use one of those too if you would like.
Gotcha. So grant 1d to allies action then?
Yeah, that would be essentially Icarus helping you with this.
Gotcha. Alright. Let's see what we get. I got a 6 and a 5.
Whoa!
Nice. Yeah. So I believe that is.
On here it says that's 4
Yep,
segments.
you get 4 segments, so you're already
Okay.
making good progress.
Gotcha.
So you sit inside of Icarus and you really focus like outside of yourself for a minute. And I think something you notice is kind of like it was kind of your goal doing this, I imagine, but you're very aware of it. You notice really just how aware of Icarus you've become, where when you really like lock in like this for a bit, you start to feel less of like how Terry is feeling. You know, you are no longer feeling sticky or whatnot. You're more feeling like you can feel all of
Like I'm
Icarus.
almost becoming a part of Icarus.
Exactly, like almost
Okay.
like you're feeling as if you had his nerve endings and not
Gotcha.
yours. Which is interesting because that's like, it's been a subtle thing,
Mhm.
you know, but, and it's maybe something you can choose to ignore in certain situations, but that's not something you always had. It's as if this bond you have is strengthening in some way.
Gotcha.
And through that, you both like, you begin to see maybe some things that Icarus could use a tune-up on, like you were looking
Right.
for. And you're also starting to understand, like, your bond is changing somehow, like,
Alright.
subtly in ways you don't even understand yet.
Gotcha. Alright.
So I think you get answers to both your questions in that, right?
Alright. Cool. Awesome. That's I think all I'm gonna do with my downtime is just kinda stay in Icarus until someone comes and disturbs me.
Okay.
You're crying from the elevator.
Tab? You in the room?
I'm gonna go disturb him.
In the elevator? Oh, him?
No, yeah.
Great.
Because we were supposed to, we're going on for our mission together. And I assume
Yeah.
that we took a detour took a pit stop at the hangar.
Yeah.
And during his time, I might just be hanging out with Terpsichore, just kind of watching, waiting. But then I'm going to make a connection with Terry.
Okay.
Because I'm going to try and I want to try and find the lab on the ship, but I want to talk to Terry about it and kind of like open up with him and explain what I'm looking for and what I'm about. So I'm just kind of weirdo waiting outside his outside his.
So you're like, you come out of your meditative state and you open your eyes and you look and you see like outside down on the ground it's just Sally like
Hey, buddy.
Have you been sitting there the whole time?
Absolutely yes.
Oh.
It looks really cool from the outside when you do stuff like that. Whatever it was you were doing, I'm sure. Hey, do you have a minute?
I do. Does your neck hurt from looking up like that?
You think it does.
And I get out of Icarus. What's up?
So we have to find a place to really expediently look at Nocturne and all the samples I brought back. And I was thinking we could go to my mom's lab
Where's that lab?
on the ship.
All right.
She used to be here, and I think it would be best if we find it and see if it's been damaged in the whole horrible damage that's everywhere.
So there's a good chance if we open a door to this place, we cannot breathe and suck out any oxygen around us?
Yeah, I figured it would work for us. Yeah. You seem like you'd like to do that.
Yeah, I'm up for
Yeah,
it.
I know.
I'm up for that.
Absolutely. So we'll go and try and find it. I think I remember where it's supposed to be, but it's kind of hidden a
You
bit.
would-
She wasn't.
it's somewhere in the engineering bay.
Okay.
You don't know the state it's been in since it's
Nope.
been probably 4, if not close to 5 years since she was in there. You don't know if it ever got repurposed. It's just not an area you've had access to.
Okay.
And I'm sure that would have been like one of the first things you looked into. But
Where
at
is
this point, it's a matter of like finding out if it's still there and if you can like get into it.
Okay. So let's suit up and see if we can get in.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yay!
Question for... Are we going rooms are connected based on the map on our
Yes.
thing? So we have to go through the mess hall in
In suits.
space
Maybe
suits?
we could keep them in a duffel. Like they do in the movies. We can keep them in like a duffel
Like a
bag.
heist.
Heist!
Oh, we're going on a heist.
Are you making a connection?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, we're making connections. We're heisting.
Don't
you
say
don't
heist. Don't say heist. Don't say heist.
You don't heist with someone and
This
then
would
just not.
probably be long term. Do you want to try to rope the other 2 into it? If you're going to be doing this. Because this would probably be like your mission for today to try
All
to
right.
go get that.
Do you want to go get them? Get the boys?
I can do that, yeah.
You know what we should probably do first?
Pancakes?
You should probably get changed out of your pancake clothes.
I thought we were going for more pancakes since the engineering hall is past the mess hall. But yeah, you're right, I should probably change. Icarus didn't really like that very much.
All right.
And Terry just skedaddles off to his room to change.
Well, this was nice planning a heist with you. Thanks.
Alright, so you can go ahead and roll.
Did you enjoy that?
Yes. Terry is very much.
Can I have a dice?
Yes.
Thank you.
Trick-or-treating.
A 6 and a 5!
The die are on our side.
Yeah,
Finally.
You really enjoyed planning a heist with
Oh, Terry's all about it.
you can go ahead and get 4 links with Terry.
Terry.
And Theo, are you up to anything while you're...
So I was given a mission or an order. I'm supposed to figure out how to sabotage the cargo lift. So I think I want to try and like make preparations.
Yeah, I would say that's...
In preparations to bust this ship up.
So I think, yeah.
You're making preparations.
Yeah, Theodore is like going and trying to learn as much of this cargo lift, but, you know, in general, the ship systems.
Yeah.
And seeing what stuff he can figure out, and if he can figure out a way to
Just start pouring
sabotage
syrup on everything.
I'm just imagining him like on his hands and knees with like an Allen wrench, like.
There's not a pancake here now if I had put pancake.
Yeah, so once your friends...
Red wire, blue wire, pancake.
Once your friends have exited the hangar for the day, I assume, then you go look into breaking things. Yeah, so I guess describe to me your process for breaking the elevator.
Okay, so technology from when Theodore is from in the future is a lot different. So I think he's coming at this at basically just like what can I actually see is going on with this? And just like looking for any kind of like loose paneling or any type of like, how can I like see the actual mechanisms?
Yeah, you come from the era of, you know, like superconductors and like, you know,
I mean, I know they don't have an infinite energy source, so like
There's
theoretically
no
I
wires
could
here.
cut that off if it's not infinite like it is in my time.
Right. Okay. So
They solved the power crisis in Theo's future.
So choose an appropriate action to help you ready the Bastion for the next attack. As you're
Are you the
doing
next attack?
right now.
Bastion the company, I guess.
Cuts the wires in every weapon system is just gone.
I'm just
The elevator still works.
I'm just imagining these Bastion employees being like, we can't get to our $1 billion machine because of this, and one of them rips a pancake out of the panel.
So Theodore's just really like trying to learn about this system. I think that's what he's readying is he's getting, you know, specifically looking for a way to sabotage this, you know, not permanently, but also like I should probably figure out how technology works here.
Yeah, no, I would say you're also like you're preparing in a strange, convoluted way. You, what role are you making for this?
I'm doing analyze.
Sure.
Okay. I think I just got the 1 die for this, so.
You got this. I'm never saying that again.
Oh my god.
You'll explode. It'll be a little syrupy
Sorry,
cloud.
this one's going in dice jail. I thought I had.
You want some new ones?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them over here. They're just purple.
We got some cool dice over
This
here.
one's got a lot of colors.
Okay.
From the dice sack.
But not the jail sack.
No. All right.
Okay.
Folsom Prison
I think I
Dice.
also made preparations last session and got like a 1 or a 2.
Oh no, maybe you did because you tried to read the books about the future or the past.
Theo's really bad at preparation.
Look, I live in the moment, which is...
But he's got a big heart.
He does.
And he can't lie.
No, I wouldn't say this was.
I can lie!
I can't lie.
All right. I wouldn't say this was a desperate position you were in because it wasn't like life or death per se. But you don't know a lot, so it was a risky role, of which you did not achieve much. So I would say a limited effect. You do damage the lift. You're not certain how much, but from your perspective of like pressing the little button to make it work, it doesn't seem to be working. So you're not sure how like well this brake will stick. You do also injure yourself in the process.
Oh, no.
Because you're not really super
Oh, no.
you're
Okay.
not super clear on like the whole electricity thing.
Oh no!
Oh! They use electricity for power still?
So I would mark a level 1 harm.
Okay.
And you
They
can
haven't
just put
switched
like
to slime?
shocks.
Where's their energy goo conduits?
Where's the goo?
Where is the goo?
Where is the goo?
So you like walk out the lift area like cartoonishly hair sticking up on end, like singed.
Great.
But it's not working, you think, anymore. You pressing the button and nothing's happening.
I find Jackson just like...
I'm like white knuckles, like
You like are on your way to go find the others, and you like you
okay.
smell Theo like
Ugh,
campfire smell.
that's awful.
I did it!
oh, dude, what is that smell?
I guess when electricity interacts with I think it's hair. I think it's like burning or did burn. Was burning. Burning happened and now there's a smell. But the lift does not work anymore.
It doesn't work right now. I said to check and to like get it ready to not work in the future.
And I checked.
Just yes or no. Is the lift to see the giant robots that we need to do our jobs, and to fix the giant robots.
They just got licked out.
Is it working?
Absolutely.
100%.
And that was a lie. I can lie.
Here's the question. Is this happening at the same time we're in there?
No, I said he waited for you to leave.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
So we're all locked out of the hangar.
They walk in on this conversation as Jackson's just sitting there. Like,
And we're in the suits ready to go.
Let's go.
No.
What are you? Why are you guys in suits?
Heist.
Yeah, they're in face.
Heist movies.
5 minutes. 5.
Terry's just really excited. He's like, what happened to Theo?
Jackson is stomping away, and he walks into an open elevator, and he goes, "I want pancakes."
I was looking for more of a waffle man.
He does get way more excited on Waffle Day.
I don't know what it is with y'all on pancakes. I don't get the hype.
What's your favorite breakfast
God, this
food,
is an
then?
awful future he comes from.
I know. Do they have pancakes?
Sorry. Yes, we have pancakes. They're just better than what you call pancakes.
Oh, you know what he has? He has them Frenchman pancakes.
Important question. Did you guys take Nocturne when you left the hangar?
No.
That would be you.
No.
Okay.
Nocturne is still in Icarus.
Oh.
So if anyone wants to make any sort of roll to like figure out a plan for that.
Are we aware that we are locked out now there?
Well,
Since we walked in on the
I don't know if
conversation.
Jackson really explained that very well before storming off. So you can ask
He just
Theo.
storms.
So, Theo, what exactly happened that has the cap so excited for pancakes?
I was given an instruction, and I followed that instruction, and now one of the ways into the hangar is inaccessible.
Now, I'm not the smartest, sadly, but I believe there's only one way into the hangar.
You can also come in from the outside.
But in our engines, we do have our suits.
He does have one. We did get our suits out of there before the hangar was closed. We could always
This is gonna be
do
an
ourselves a little
exciting mission.
spacewalk.
But because I was already thinking of them, by the time they're saying that, Jackson already like has a helmet and is storming to like the normal hangar people used to come and go from the facility.
Yeah.
And like everybody is watching is like he leaves like a burnt smoke trail on the ground behind him.
Doesn't smell like you got very good pancakes. This is what happens when you wait.
I think we should follow him.
Heist.
First, we gotta sneak back on the ship.
So you see Jackson angrily walking by, you know, like throwing a suit on, I imagine. And you two are already in your little like suits ready to go. Theo is the only one with a suit without a suit, but I assume if you're heading to like the main airlock, as it were, there's probably like some standard suits. They might be a size or two too big, but
Get a loner.
yeah, just look like a little awkward. They don't have all your cool like logos from your brands on them, but
Ooh.
yeah, you don't have like the cool like Mountain of Mythos like legendary skin space suit. But yeah, you all suit up. You walk over to the main airlock. You've used it before, you know. Ideally, it's kind of like big, as if someone were to bring like a little shuttle in there. But you guys are just gonna, you know. I assume there's some sort of setting on your spacesuit that you can kind of just like walk along the ship.
Magnet boots.
Yeah.
why not?
Magnet boots.
Terry definitely says anytime he does a spacewalk, which is very little, he definitely starts it off by going, boots, magnetize. And then hits the button.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, he's like, boots, magnetize.
Spacewalk.
You know, Jackson's like doing the work to start the space. Like he is currently like grounding flights on the way in, like and stuff like that in the command center, right? And
This reminds me of a great movie that none of you would have seen because it hasn't come out yet. But like,
I hate it when that
It
happens.
has like a spacewalk.
Maybe it's
Honestly, it might be based on us.
How does it? No, don't tell me how it ends. Don't tell me how it ends. Spacewalk.
He really wants to tell us how it ends. Just
He
look at
does.
him.
I
I just
know.
you were just waiting excitedly for Jackson to like activate the like.
it's currently like I don't have to do anything. He just hasn't said anything.
Yeah, no, you're just
He's just
sitting
like
there in
he's just
front
like
of a panel.
clenching the monitor and like the computer like this. He's just like
We're ready to go when you are.
Yeah. Space.
It's a walk in space.
It's a walk in space. It's a spacewalk. Spacewalk.
Is there anyone down there?
No.
I don't think so.
So do we know if the hangar door is open?
That's what the button's on the outside of the ship.
What? Our atmosphere is covered in space trash. Why would we put a giant red button on the outside to open the door?
I
that
don't think they'd make it
releases
red.
He didn't say red.
I did just say button. Well, look, logically, let's think about this logically, right? What if a pilot is stranded out in space
You're right.
Do a
and they get
spacewalk.
back to the
we
ship?
we can remote open it from here. But I need to know if you guys saw anybody down there so
No.
we don't suck them into the vacuum.
No, there was no one out there.
no,
It's
no,
just
no,
the
no, no.
engine.
No,
It's just
no,
the
no, no.
engine.
Do they know this? Do they know this?
We were in there. We were
in there.
Yeah, I know, but
we just didn't grab the thing we were
you
supposed
can
to grab.
hold on.
Roll for knowledge check.
Well, you can be in a place and still not notice people in a place.
I was eating a lot of pancakes, but it was also pretty fixed.
You were eating a lot of pancakes and
Watching
meditating
Terry.
with plants.
Watching Terry just.
Do you have
Terry's just sitting there like.
I haven't
trying to
analyzed.
think.
I
Yeah, you
haven't.
can
I haven't
analyze
fully
if anyone
analyzed.
else is in
I'm
there.
gonna
I
see
don't
if
have
anyone else is in
analyzed.
there.
I had perceived.
I rolled a 6.
I'm going to help. Or no, that's a 6. I was. It doesn't matter anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah, so with the 6, you feel relatively certain that by the time you left, it was just you two. Specifically because you're like, oh, let's make sure nobody else like is gonna interact with that thing we left inside of Icarus before we left, because surely we'll be right back.
Okay.
It's still breakfast time. I'm 99.9, so there's nobody else in there but our engines. And you know my 99.9 is very, very high.
It's almost brunch time, actually.
Hold on, guys.
I love brunch.
Let's kind of group huddle. Let's have a conversation about this. Do you think, right? We do have like a set breakfast time, that people can get breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
This is a military base floating in the sky that requires hundreds of people doing hundreds of different jobs at once. Just so we're all aware. We do not... The breakfast bell does not ring, and like the Who's, we do not run towards it.
You might not. It's Pancake Day, Jackson!
We've been over this. He's a waffle man.
I know, but you'd think you'd know how important this is to me by now.
Sorry, you're right. My mistake. Okay, look. The other problem is, a lot of people use that freight elevator, right? So they're going to get suspicious when it doesn't work, right? I was hoping that we could push that to maybe when we were running low on time, you know, and we needed to push the deadline a little. That is not happening anymore. So let me put it like this. Are we all ready to be locked in a hangar, right, for the next theoretically 24 hours with just the 4 of us?
Technically, we're not locked in the hangar.
It's
We
locked in
do-
there with us.
No,
Wait.
we do have our engines, which can in fact go through space.
We do. But do you know how suspicious it's going to be if a giant robot leaves that hangar?
Spacewalk, baby.
Spacewalk, spacewalk, spacewalk.
It's a spacewalk,
Okay,
Cap.
spacewalk.
So you're headed out on your space.
We are!
Sally, have you shared your heist plans?
Yes.
The rest of the
I'm
group.
going to share
Still
my
calling it a
heist
heist?
plan. Absolutely. So,
We're going to
gonna
steal
go
the oxygen from this part of the ship and put it in that part of the ship.
We're going to go down to engineering and see if I can figure out where my mom's lab is so that we can analyze these samples that we brought back from Elena's body and Nocturne too. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Have any of us checked to like in the systems or internally to see if we know if the engine room got damaged during the last attack where everything got damaged, or?
That is one of the parts of the
It
heist.
is one of the areas that is damaged, yes.
Okay.
Which is why they're suited up.
And suits for spacewalk.
Got it. Got it. Okay. You know what? Maybe this was a good thing. Now nobody's going to bother us. Look on the bright side of things, Theo.
You did a great job, Theo.
Don't.
I want to know how that movie ends.
Me too.
I usually do a great job.
Yes, you do.
He's just so proud.
Okay. So,
You only a little bit burned.
go do that thing. Get supplies. Bring them back. It's going to look weird. You guys have a limited amount of oxygen. Let's not make our whole plan revolve around a possibly damaged part of the ship that could suck us into space and kill us.
Do you want the supplies to be a surprise? Surprise?
I would like you to make careful note of them so we make sure nothing goes missing.
Fine.
You're a scientist.
I'm excited for a spacewalk.
Aren't we out there?
Is this happening while we're
I don't know.
spacewalking?
Did you ever press the button?
Yeah, no, at some point he just went,
Yeah.
Yay!
So you guys have walked out. You're
We're
kind of
walking.
like, I just want on the top of the ship. You have to get kind of around because both the hangars kind of over here, engineering's kind of like that way. So you guys could like split up at that point if you want to. Or you could both go both places.
Well,
sometimes.
it was damaged in an attack, right? So there might be damage on the outside, and it's so we could check from the outside, and then people could try and rendezvous and then meet in the middle, kind of thing.
Okay, so you and I are going to go. The hangar is open, right? We're gonna go in, get everything ready, right? You two, engineering, got it?
Can do, will do.
Okay,
Excuse me,
that's okay.
it's pancakes. Every time.
Okay. All right, we can do this, right?
Yeah.
This is gonna be great.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna go great.
It's gonna go great.
In his head, he's fighting the urge to disengage his mag boots.
You know what we can call our mission? Because it's a surprise heist. It's the SS Heist, like a ship.
I love this. Toot toot. Spacewalk.
His hand's over the button. It's like this. Just one, and I go into space, and then it's all.
Hey, careful! That's your mag boot button.
My chest is itchy.
Oh,
Terrible timing. Let's go.
did you not get the suit scratcher?
The what?
Is that the add-on that you can have scratch while you're in your suit in case you get itchy?
Oh,
For
it's
exactly
a really
this
good idea.
purpose.
It's a really good idea. You should definitely
What
do that.
does-
I just power through it.
Okay. So is the plan we're all going to the hangar together and then engineering?
We're gonna go engineering. They're gonna go hangar.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're splitting up.
Yep.
I don't know that there's like a great way inside of engineering from here, but you can, like you said, kind of like assess the damage from the outside of it.
Okay.
So we'll start over here.
Predicting that something will go wrong. When we split off and we, start to go to the hangar, right? The hangar's open, we opened it.
Yeah, it's like, again, it's that sort of like weird membrane, almost like
Thank
a, it's like metal, but it's almost like bubble for you. You can just walk in. Because it's made of the same material as your guys.
All right.
Zoom tight.
Thank you. Space.
Kind of preempting something will go wrong. Jackson just, the second he steps in, he goes like, I'm here. And Hoverboard, kind of walks over from the other side of the hangar.
Mm-hmm.
Go help him.
She'll give you a little nod before she just sort of like swan dives out. And
So majestic.
we'll get to that, but as you guys are walking, you see Hoverboard ready to be Jackson's second pair of eyes.
Hi,
Really
HB.
does not trust us.
Nope, not at all.
So back to you two.
No.
You're in the hangar.
Where is Nocturne's I imagine we have kind of like those metal skeleton things that
Can I
hold them
get
up
in your mech?
sometimes, right?
Yeah,
Or,
just kind of like a metal.
Is
Like
Nocturne
hook
in your
thing.
mech?
Yeah, Nocturne's in Icarus.
Yeah. Okay, so is
So you might have to go back.
Nocturne? It doesn't matter. We can't do anything with Nocturne anyway.
Yeah.
No,
So,
Unless you're planning to bring Nocturne to the lab.
right.
right. Which we are not,
Yeah.
because the lab has no oxygen.
I guess, yeah. Oxygen. You need oxygen.
But yeah, Nocturne is locked inside Icarus right now.
Right.
You're a botanist. Okay.
Yeah, plants make oxygen.
I don't deal with the things that need it. I deal with the things that use it. All right. So Jackson's gonna start kind of getting the hangar bay that Nocturne's usually held in ready, kind of doing all the setting stuff and reopening it, and getting it clean, stuff like that. Can you try? I don't expect results. Can you try to get Nocturne out of Icarus? Try.
I'm not really good with the mechs.
I mean, if you want to, I can, but
I'll give it my best shot.
if it goes bad, just whistle. I'll be there in a second.
Okay.
You can do it.
Okay.
Why? Please don't make that. Please don't. Just say okay. Just say it normally with confidence. For me. You got it. You'll do great.
Okay.
And with that, Jackson just cuts his mic feed off. He just.
All right. So, Icarus looms before you.
Hi, Icarus. It's me, the new guy. This looks so cool when the others do it. I know you're like a machine, but you're like a thinking machine, and we need help. With the thing, like you're aware of stuff going on. Oh boy. Can you move, or is that just a hoverboard thing?
I don't think he's really reacting to you. You are unsure if this is because of the machine-like nature, or he just doesn't want to talk to you. It could
Okay.
really be either.
Okay. I'm gonna get into Brickstorm
Okay.
and see if machine to machine.
Jackson's just
Jackson's
having
like,
better.
oh boy. Jackson's like he's doing sci-fi stuff. He's clicking on buttons, reconnecting wires, and then just suddenly a shadow passes over him. He just
See, I think Brickstorm does not move at all when I am not in it. So even when you call your mech, Brickstorm does not do that. So as soon as he starts moving, you're like, oh, he's in the mech. Okay. Brickstorm's gonna put his hand on on Icarus's shoulder. Just be like,
Okay.
hey, buddy.
Okay. Do you have any links with Brickstorm?
No.
Okay.
And this would definitely annoy Icarus.
Who can lie? Icarus can lie.
Icarus can, in fact, Icarus is very mischievous, yes.
I feel like this is very firmly in the territory of like an empathize role.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you would like to try to make one, you can. But
Yeah. So I'm gonna push myself for that, which is 2 stress, right?
Oh, God.
yeah, too stressed.
How bad is it if we max out stress?
You go into Eclipse.
Right. Okay.
Theo's gonna eclipse trying to get Nocturne out of Icarus when all they had to do was ask Terry.
Can I can't post roll as try to help him in any way.
This is a 2.
Okay. I will go ahead and say you can mark an XP in Sun because that
Great.
just really was outside of your comfort zone. You go to like touch Icarus, and Icarus just like literally like shrinks a little bit. Like he's starting to like physically like he gets a little more like compact. He did not like that.
Okay, I'm done. I just like in that same position, just like leave Brickstorm and just go back. Jack's like, it didn't work. I tried everything.
Jackson is like listening to music. He's not. He like you have to get his attention somehow.
I'm just afraid to actually bother him, so I'm just there to be like, hey man, so it didn't work. Yeah, I tried everything and just nothing's working. So like I really did my best at this, and I just want you to know that like I gave it a real shot, and I put all the effort I could, and I think Icarus is still okay.
What?
But
So it didn't go well.
no, it didn't. That's yeah.
Okay. All right. Why don't you do me a favor, and we're gonna have to get Nocturne in this thing. Maybe by force.
Neither of them.
Neither of them could just ask Terry.
Just
Swing over here.
They're like, we're gonna pry Icarus open with the jaws of life.
Up over here. You guys are blissfully unaware of
Yeah, no,
what's going on.
we're excited.
Hoverboard is just kind of, looming on the horizon as you guys walk your way on down. And you kind of have a sort of sense where the engineering bay should be. It's kind of just beyond the hangar, where you know the location of well. Do you want to try to analyze the area, Sally,
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm not in.
Do you have Analyze? I don't have Analyze.
I do, yes.
Okay.
I do. That's a 4.
Okay. Yeah, I would say this was pretty controlled. This is your sort of
It's within my
wheelhouse.
wheelhouse.
Exactly. You walk down, your boots, and as you start to look, you notice, most of the ship itself looks pretty okay, aside from maybe, some small areas being misaligned, almost like, you have two, bricks that aren't quite connected in the way they should be. You notice along kind of one of those fissures is just, a bunch of, almost like fungus growing out. It looks like in some portion of the engineering bay, something has grown out of control to the point that it's growing out of the ship. And I assume you're doing your Sally
Yeah,
thing.
I am. And I see that, and my first thought is that I need to go get Terpsichore, even though she'd be way too big to fit in engineering. My first thought is to her. Because I also probably can't, it's not big enough for a person to get through.
Oh,
right?
no, this is
It's
literally
a small fissure.
yeah.
Okay. So I trying to connect to Terpsichore to get her to come through the hangar to meet with us, because I'm like, this is the job for us.
Okay, so a couple of points of order.
Yeah.
While you're looking at this, Terry, you're standing there, attempting to
Just
be
be
useful.
Terry.
Yeah.
Tearing it up.
I'm tearing it up. Yep.
You feel suddenly, like, in your sort of, like, pit of your stomach, like, a deep uncomfort. Almost like a family member you don't want to talk to is, like, going in for a hug. And you realize Icarus must be in some emotional distress.
Is this the first time this has happened to Terry?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Sally, I think I need to head to the hangar.
You okay?
Got this feeling something ain't right with Icarus, and I'm a little concerned.
Okay. It'll take a bit, but we can get there.
Are you good just hanging out here with Hoverboard? I can walk my way back.
Yeah. Yeah, I can be here.
All right. Terry's gonna start walking back
Okay.
to the hangar.
And over here, as you're, like, processing what Theo has told you, you just see Terpsichore wake up and just walk out and dive out the...
It goes like
Yeah, just leaves.
So majestic.
Like, doesn't even really acknowledge you guys. She just walks out and, like, dives out and goes to join Sally.
Yeah.
Sally.
Yeah.
Why did Terpsichore leave?
I have observed an issue with the outside of the ship, and I think that I need her.
My engine isn't good enough.
No, but they're not my engine.
That doesn't. One, people are used to being around the ship.
Yeah.
Hoverboard comes and goes on the logs all the time on camera feeds. It's normal. Your engine being somewhere different is not.
Jackson, they're not my engine, and Terpsichore is. And I think that I can figure this out better with an engine I can understand.
I sent Hoverboard out to help you explicitly.
And if this was a fill this with goo situation, which it is
Hoverboard has no goo.
not. Well, then why are they here?
She is here to help you in case you need force, right? Or to get
This
out
is not a
of it.
forced situation.
What is the situation? Sit rep me. Go.
Something is growing out of the ship. As a botanist, I can tell it's something to do with our engines. It's similar. It's plant-like. I need Terpsichore. I appreciate you sending Hoverboard. This is not me being ungrateful, Jackson. I would just like my engine, please.
Does Terpsichore have any like explicit abilities that deal with like overgrown plants and engines? Like, is this something Jackson would be
got
like?
super cool
Like
lightning.
that's a sensible tool for the job.
No, I don't think the reasons that Sally would want Terpsichore with her are very known to Jackson.
No.
You have 5 seconds to send that engine back in the hangar now, or I swear to God, I'm gonna come down on your head worse than the brass would.
Click!
Terpsichore lands next to you.
Yay!
I think you notice now that she's closer to you, you've been feeling sort of generally nervous today. There's a lot of, like, nervousness in the air. But you notice that she seems to feel a little, like, antsy.
Yeah.
And she's not really, like, saying much, and she just kind of, like, stands there.
And I say to her, we don't have to speak out loud to communicate, right? I think to her. And she's in my brain. She's in my brain.
I am in your brain.
Brainworms.
Is everything okay? This is weird. I knew that this would be weird, but this is way different than I expected.
Different?
I expected this to be weird for me to be in her lab. I didn't expect it to be weird like, oh my gosh, there's plants growing out of the ship. What was she doing? Is it safe in there? For a human?
Well, there's definitely, she sort of, like, touches us, an obstacle. but I don't think it's anything you can't deal with.
Okay.
She looks like very awkward for a big 40-foot. I have something for you.
Oh.
And she reaches down her big hand, and then sort of just like popping out of it is your mom's old key card.
This is very helpful.
Yeah, no problem.
We're gonna have to get back into the ship to use this.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't go into that hallway yourself.
Duly noted.
That's not terrifying.
So as you're over here, molding away, you hear the like membrane
I haven't
activate.
heard malding in like 4 years.
You hear the membrane activate, and you're like, oh, good. She sent Terpsichore back, and it's Terry.
Finally.
Hey, Terry!
And Terry looks physically uncomfortable when he walks in, I imagine, because he's still connected with
Yeah,
Icarus.
you can have that weird, like, pit of your stomach feeling.
Everything all right with Icarus here?
You see Brickstorm, like, in place, like, just left there.
Do I see whether Theo's in it or not?
Yes,
literally
because
like-
I'm sprinting. I was like, hey, and you're like, hi, how's Icarus? And I start sprinting to my engine.
Gotcha. What were y'all trying to do to Icarus?
Shut up.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I get in and just like move Brickstorm away.
Okay.
Can't help but feel like I'm missing some very important information.
Let's tag out for a second, Terry. Why don't you do me a
Like
favor?
dodgeball?
No. Go get the briefcase out of your engine. Put it into this hangar bay now.
All right.
All right? You two, right? We tried to get it out ourselves. Didn't work.
Why didn't you just ask me to come back?
Because you were in the vacuum of space, right?
We have communicators, sound travels in our suits, Cap. I may not be the smartest in the group, but I understand that.
I, right, as somebody who does mechanics on engines, I'll admit my own failures here, right? I probably could have gotten it out myself, right? You probably would have gotten that weird pit stomach thing, whatever, right? The thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the thing.
You
Whenever
get, you
hover-
get that too?
Yeah, whenever Hoverboard walks by my dad,
Interesting.
right?
Yeah.
They would have done the thing, but it would have gotten out, right?
Yeah, something like that, I suppose.
I'll admit, I'm used to it being a pretty easy task, so I thought Theo could handle it. My bad. Now, you guys can get Nocturne out of the case, into this hangar bay, and set up and ready to work on it. Can you guys do that?
I believe I can, as long as, and this is the one thing I'm going to ask you, Draco does not get his hands on this anytime soon.
Hey, dog, nobody can get their hands on
Good.
everything in this hangar anytime soon.
Good. Just, I know that no one can get in or out, but I feel like it had to be said. That man dumped pancakes on me this morning, and I
Terry.
frankly already didn't like him.
Terry, I already talked to my dad. They're going to come to the hangar to get it,
All right.
right? Draco's not involved anymore.
Cool.
Okay.
Terry's going to start walking over to Icarus to get Nocturne out.
To get there quickly, I just get into Terpsichore,
Yeah.
just zoop over, and I zoop.
So you look as Terpsichore and Hoverboard return. All right, Terry, you feel a little calmer now as Icarus sort of calms down now that there's no longer Brickstorm looming over him.
Yeah.
And you are back. Nobody's talking about prying him open anymore.
Good. So I'm going to try and get into Icarus to get Nocturne out of there.
Yeah, if the option is, these two or you going in, he's very happy to just let
Yeah.
you grab the,
Sloop in.
you take the briefcase
Nocturne.
thing.
Just kind of sitting there looking at Nocturne for a second. Yeah, whatever. And I get out and I go and hand it to them. I'm
Okay.
kind of like, it'll be what it be at this point. I hand Nocturne to Jackson.
Great. What did you find in the lab?
I didn't get to go into the lab.
What happened?
Access is not accessible outside, so we're going to go in through a different way.
Who is we?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were a team.
We were.
We were? You call your robot whenever you want, and I do it once. You can't be the only special boy.
That's not the point. The
It
point
feels
is
like a little bit of the point, Jackson.
The point is you picked your once when the hangar bay is broken, right? And we're already sneaking around like in your heist, right?
Yeah.
The point is we're trying to keep suspicion down, which includes weird movements from people who shouldn't be moving.
Who would know I wasn't in there?
There are cameras everywhere.
Can we just go to engineering?
I'm
I'm ready to do some science and figure this out.
I have a genuine question for you. Do you think, right, I am a total moron?
No!
He likes waffles more than pancakes. It's a little question.
I know, it's not a total moron, definitely not.
Who do you need to go to? Who do you need with you to go to engineering?
I'd like everyone to go with me in engineering.
Somebody should probably stay and get Nocturne ready. We need to keep time down, right?
Ready for what?
To work on. It's gonna take a while to get it out of the engine and set up in the hull and even plugged in and functional. Yes, Terry.
Is our goal, and I'm just asking here to be on the same page as everyone, because I wasn't really here when you two came up with this plan originally. Is our goal to find out whether this has happened before, if it can happen again, like what happened with Elena?
Yes.
Yes.
Why don't, instead of doing what we've been doing, which is arguing, I had this thought when I was sitting in Icarus earlier, why don't we try, if we want to find out if this can happen or has happened before, we find the Sailroses. If they've never been recovered, there's a good chance they're still stuck in there, and there's a chance that what happened to Elena happened to them. Just a thought I had. I know I may not be the smartest of the bunch, but I noticed something new with Icarus that we were mind melding, I guess would be the word, a little more than I'm used to. And I realized how much more intricate it's become. I don't know if that happens to any of you at all, but...
It says, I really think all of you should go to the lab. I think it'd be very helpful.
Don't worry.
Okay.
I
know
think
you're
that
doing your
that's...
best.
Thank you.
Jackson just, at
Thank
this
you,
point,
Terpsichore.
The Sailrose was definitely like a
when you
tipping
bring up the
moment.
Sailroses, he's like white knuckling the briefcase.
And I think that that is a excellent idea, Terry, for when we have a little more information. I think going into this blind is, we don't even know where to start, but we do know where to start for this. We need to get into engineering. We need to figure out what happened with Nocturne. And I understand that you say you need time to get it ready, but you're the best mechanic that I know, and I know you can get it ready very quickly. I would rather be safe, Jackson, and I have reasons to think it's not safe to go by myself. You're the captain of this team. We're a team. We have to stay together.
You're right. You're right.
Wow.
There's a first for everything, I suppose.
Given the circumstance, you're right. I'm not gonna be my dad or Draco. I'll chew you out in an appropriate time. Right? For now, I want nothing more
I get a pancake.
than to...
Out of your face.
I want nothing more right now. Right? I don't even know what. I want to scream so bad. So here's what we're gonna do, right? We're all gonna go down with you to engineering. We're gonna cut the power to engineering.
We need some of the equipment there.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
If
We
it's
don't even know what we're
broken-
getting into.
Exactly. You're right. We don't know what we're getting into.
So we're gonna
And
cut
we
the
don't-
power.
Yes, we're going to cut the power, right? We're going to cut the power and the oxygen so that we can go in without raising any alarms or any suspicions.
It might not even have power and oxygen right now.
Exactly, but I'm not risking it.
I need the power on.
You need... Okay, so we'll leave the power. You know what? Fine.
Thank you.
New plan. I'll hold on to the
This
briefcase.
is the part of the heist where they come up with the new plan for the plan
We
B.
can't tell everyone. I don't know what's gonna go wrong.
I don't even. Fine, we'll go. What did you see down there? Anyway.
What I saw was stuff being fungal plant life growing out of the outside of the ship. That is not a great sign outside of a scientific lab. Let's.
In the sense of engine fungal plant life, fungal earth plant life.
Yes, it was strange. It should not be on our ship. It is wrong. We need to get into this lab, and I have the key card.
Can any of our
Which-
engines fit into it?
Into engineering? Into a science lab? No, it's a lab. It would not be big enough for an engine to fit in.
Unless you put them in like suitcase form.
We could shrink down all of our engines and carry them with us in our special little backpacks.
They're not much use like that, though.
They're not.
I mean, but in a pinch, we can get them out. It's the most fun thing to do, you know. That's why
I'm
you have them in
all
the
for
backpacks.
reckless behavior, but if we had to use our engines in a pinch in engineering, we'd tear a few holes in the ship on our way out.
And more importantly, any sudden change in something like, for example, the oxygen level of a lab where that's extremely controlled could ignite a main oxygen line, and it could take the ship with it. We have to be really careful about this. That's why I said cut the oxygen and the power. But you're right. If you need the power, then you need the power. So let's do this. Hoverboard will stay outside because Hoverboard is expected to be outside, and Hoverboard has helped you guys work on other stuff, right? We'll do that. Okay? If we need anything, she's there in an emergency. Got it? And worst comes to worst, we'll call Icarus who can get there just as fast, right? For now, we cut the oxygen, right, to the lab.
We've got our spacesuits. That should be fine.
We've got our spacesuits.
You could assume that already, the oxygen.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't
The
think that's gonna be
oxygen is-
necessary.
I was gonna say, okay. Okay.
I'm still gonna bring Terpsichore in a backpack in case. I don't think I want to do it without it. So
Why?
I don't think I want to do it without it.
Okay, fine. I will hold on to the briefcase. And we'll go. We'll go. Actually, maybe no. Just put this in Brickstorm.
Okay.
Promise me. Brickstorm stays here.
I can't call him if I wanted to.
Got it. All right.
Bring the briefcase into Brickstorm.
All right. Yep.
Boop, boop.
So you guys begin to make appropriate preparations to head over to engineering. I think that is a great opportunity to take our break for now as our heroes prepare.
Yeah.
We'll see you in just a minute.
Woo.
Hang tight.
Woo!
Hey, welcome back. So when last we left our heroes, they had decided to try to find their way into the engineering bay, which, after recently suffering an attack from the Leviathans, has been knocked off from the central sort of oxygen gravity grid. We are in the spirit of Girls by Moonlight, cutting to the action. So we need to make our engagement roll to see how
Okay.
well this is going for you guys since we left you off. So, as always, there's always hope. We start with 1 die.
Yep.
Would we say this mission is particularly heroic or noble?
No.
Or does this mission reflect the worst parts of the protagonists?
Yeah.
I don't think it reflects the
It's
worst parts of
important,
all of us.
But it's we are kind of doing it, you know, we're not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah,
So
I
I
would
would say,
say-
yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah,
One
very,
more.
very gray
Yeah.
here.
Morally gray.
Does that give us another dice? too?
Let's leave that one where it's at. I
Okay,
think.
1.
Are we following through on details from your investigation? I would say yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You spent the first half of this episode preparing. Does the mission determine the fate of a friend?
Yeah, in the way of it determining whether or not
If
we
it
can
does,
go after
it's
the Sailroses,
terrifying.
whether, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Are troubles from your mundane lives getting in the way of this mission? I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can take a die away.
I take it. Oh,
Yes.
man. I mean, no.
Oh, wait, what are we?
We're at 2.
Okay.
Let's see. You guys are dealing with a Leviathan attack, in a sense, I would say is the closest. So you're at a reasonable level to accommodate that. I would take a die for that.
Okay.
Are there any other elements that we should consider due to circumstances or events in your world?
What is... Really?
We need to do this and pretty fast. Like this is and this is important for. It's an important mission for Sally because she's it's a family thing. It's important to her, and it's important for the whole mission that we figure out what's going on with these engines, and it's going to help us get closer to them. Or
Sure.
why?
Yeah, you are taking time to kind of go above and beyond to find some answers.
Yeah.
I'd say sure, you can take a die for that. It's a noble
Alright.
mission
So what do we
that
have,
you've
4
worked
right
on.
We are 4.
Yep, so one of you may roll, or you can all roll 1 die if you want, with the power of teamwork.
Power of teamwork.
Are we all gonna do 1? Yeah. Okay.
6. 3.
4. So we got 3
3
fours
fours and a
3.
3.
Okay, so 4 was our highest. So we find ourselves in the hallway that Sally had identified in a risky position. You're holding it together, but as you use your mother's key card to unlock this hallway, you instantly realize this sort of 20-foot hallway down to her lab probably has been left untouched for 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
And there is sort of this overgrowth of just these weird alien-looking fungi and polyps and everything. And as you open the door and there's sort of light cast on them for the first time and you're all there in your spacesuits, it all sort of just starts melting off the walls and bubbling up into one sort of central blobby being of big sharp mouths and limbs and fungus. And you realize this is kind of a large, unwieldy Leviathan you found just sort of lodged in this 20-foot hallway.
Jackson shoots it. Doesn't even hesitate. Just
Sure, yeah.
bang.
Yeah, that's right. We all have laser pistols.
Is it a laser? I
always assumed it's the future. It's laser pistols.
I always assumed just pistol.
Are you attempting to
It's a regular
defy?
pistol, but you go pew pew.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go ahead and make a defy roll. I would say this is a risky roll, considering we just said we're in a risky position.
Normal guns will
Okay.
work without oxygen.
I'm in a risky position.
They're space guns.
That was
I
my
don't know.
thought. That was my thought.
Yes.
You know what? I'll push myself on this.
Okay, yeah, so you can mark 2 shots.
That is a 3 and a 6.
All right, yeah, so that is a success. As this thing sort of just spawns a big mouth that comes at you without even thinking, really. Jackson just takes out his sidearm and unloads into it, and the mouth sort of just falls back, and now you've got more of a manageable, writhing mass of fungus and alien matter in front of you.
How is Terpsichore feeling? Am I feeling more anxiety than excited to I feel like I wouldn't want to shoot at it. I'd be more of a nervous, oh my god, what is this? And wanting to learn more than I need to kill this.
Yeah, I think you're definitely intrigued, You haven't really seen it in this very simplistic form.
Yeah.
It's almost like this is a new growth.
Yeah.
Where you're dealing mostly with more developed versions of the same thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of weird curiosity eating at both of you, but at the same time you're both in that feeling of it's an interesting thing, but it's coming at you with
really
fists
fast,
and
yeah.
mouths, and you kind of have to, So it's a weird conflict you're feeling.
Yeah. Could I, even though I know it's in a situation like this, but could I analyze to try and figure out if I can see something that would help us in this? We're not very well armed, and we're in too small of a hallway to get our engines out. So could I try and see if I see anything in the room, or any thing that sticks out of something I could do to protect my friends and?
Yeah, sure, you can analyze.
Okay. I'm pushing. Oh, I'm sure not. I just looked at how closely I'm to a clip. I'm nope. Well, 4.
Okay. Let's say kind of a limited effect. You're not seeing anything in here immediately that would give you a ton of success with what you're looking to do. Especially because you can't just like bust Terpsichore out and just like slash it. You're thinking your best bet at this point is maybe to just like make a dash for your mom's lab and get inside, and then maybe when you leave, there will be something in there you can use to like clear this up.
Theodore is like pulled to the back of the group, but it's probably like behind them a good at least like 5 to 10 feet, like in the other direction of this thing.
If you're at the back, you're
You're
next to me, but not you're at the front.
I'm behind you guys, and
Okay.
Terry just has a smile on his face. He's like, that thing is disgusting.
I tap you, Jackson, on the shoulder and say, I'm making a run for it. I need you to cover me.
Does it look like it's dead, or?
Oh no, it's
It's
still very
totally
much
fine.
I go like, what? No?
It's like recovering from the fact you just shot it.
Is there even
I'm
a way
taking a
around
chance
it?
while I can.
No, like you're running essentially like dodging through this.
Gonna-
You're parkouring through this
I'm gonna parkour.
fungus.
Okay, fine.
Can you?
Even Terry's flabbergasted.
I turn and I look at Terry. What do I see from Terry and Theodore? Like,
Well, he's cowering behind you.
I go from grin to just confused.
do I? Huh? What do you need a command? Weapons free. What do you?
All right.
Shoot
Terry
it.
pulls out his weapon and just.
Yeah. So I would say if any of you
Like a
have
cowboy?
Yes, like a cowboy with the revolver.
if any of you have links with Sally and would like to spend them to help her.
I do not.
I don't think anybody has it.
I do.
Oh, you do.
I just have Icarus.
Yeah, you had a rocky day, but you still have her back, and I think that
All right.
would work if you'd like to give her
Sure thing. Take
some
one.
help.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a die to spend. Do you have a type of roll you would like to make?
I do have forgive, which I feel I would be really hoping that he forgives me for what I'm about to
Oh my god.
So if you'll,
I feel like in the weird Sally way it works. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
I am sorry, I have to do this.
I'm sorry my friend is shooting at your face. Sure. Why not?
Thank you. I hope this plant forgives me. I hope Jackson forgives me. I hope everybody forgives me. Somebody forgive me. 5 and a 3.
Yeah. I would go ahead and take a point in Moon because that was a sort of desperate
Okay.
action you were taking there.
Thank you.
To a mixed result, so you will take another level 1 harm as you get bitten by this.
Ouch.
Can I? Is protect a pre thing or a post thing?
That's a good question. Let me see. Which ability is that?
It just says, so I have an ability called Watchful that says when I protect an ally, I take a die to my resistance roll. Yeah. That's all it says.
Yeah, I believe if you choose to protect, you are helping Sally avoid taking the harm that she's taking, if I
Okay.
remember correctly. Yes,
Yeah.
protecting your allies.
Okay.
Let's
Can
hop
I-
into that because we haven't done that yet. You can protect your ally and resist a consequence, essentially the harm that she's about to take, provided it makes sense. I think it does. In these cases, the protecting character must take on the consequence. So yeah, your ability is you're making a resistance roll against this.
Yeah.
So you can choose something to resist as you're kind of like trying to distract this thing on Sally's behalf.
I will. You know what I'll do? And I'm gonna take. Am I gonna take stress from this? Because doesn't it say I take? Or
I think you might
do
take damage.
I was gonna say, do I take damage or
Yeah,
stress?
you
or
No,
both?
the consequence of this one was just the harm.
Oh, okay.
There
So
was
then,
no stress.
can I say I, express my anger and like shove Sally out of the way?
Sure.
All right.
You're expressing your need to protect.
And then I gotta
Control
do
the
that.
situation.
That is a 4.
Yeah, I would say same thing. You wind up taking a harm as this thing just like sinks its weird little plant teeth into you.
So I do
Which is-
not? But,
Yeah,
okay.
you are protected.
And I
I
take
believe in theory you would preemptively do it, but since we were figuring it out,
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
just gonna hold it back.
It's reduced by 1 because I have an ability.
Okay, cool. So
So-
you just ignore the fact that you got your arm bitten.
I imagine like it's this very frustrated moment where like he shoves you out of the way and it like bites him and he just kind of.
Yeah, you know, like you all witness this that he probably should be very hurt. He just got bit by this weird thing, and he's just kind of like continuing to do his Jackson thing. Okay. So like you get over, you have your mom's key card. You can kind of like
Yeah, as quickly as I possibly can get into the area that I need to go to. I slide the key card and I get into her lab.
Would the rest of you like to attempt to follow Sally?
I
Or-
will.
Yes.
I will turn and I will follow and I'll go. Have they shot it once?
Yeah, I shot at it.
Did you?
No.
No, you just hang it.
Stay, watch this thing, make sure he shoots it. He runs.
Okay.
Terry kind of sees Jackson do this, and he just looks at Theo and he goes, "Make sure to shoot that thing," and he follows Jackson.
All right, man.
Theo!
All right. So you guys run through. I guess you've already resisted taking damage from this thing.
Should
too.
I roll to?
Yeah. Do you want to like flow?
Yeah, I guess if mine would flow or defy be better. I guess flow, right?
Either your choice.
All right, gotcha.
Narratively.
I'm gonna do flow.
So you can shoot like a cowboy?
I got a 5.
5. Okay. Yeah. I think that is still a mixed success. You would take a.
Can I?
Are you trying to protect him?
I think he preemptively, like, he knows, he's like, Terry's not going to listen to me as he turns around.
Yeah, you can make another protect roll if you would like.
Yeah, I'll do that. I imagine this is perceive, or would this be a sun? Crap. Or would defy or express?
Defy would definitely work again.
Okay, defy, and then, yeah.
Ooh.
A 6.
Okay. Yeah, you manage to fight the thing off of Terry before it gets sort of its weird little teeth around him, and the 3 of you make it in.
I think when I save Terry, I stop and I go, "You're not going to shoot it, are you?"
It would be so easy if you just walk back and the doors to the hallway would close and you would be safe.
You just go. Just go with them. It's okay. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, Theodore leaves.
Okay.
Yeah, he backs out.
Just imagine him looking at us dead in the eyes, just walking back.
Just like taking a step back. Yeah, literally, he just like.
Yeah. He's like, seemed like tense up, getting ready to like sprint and follow, and then just like turns and leaves.
Like fully 180s other
yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
Jackson, like, what? Where are you going?
He tries his best.
Door closes.
Jackson, get in here!
God, run! And he turns and goes into the other room.
As soon as everyone is in there, I close the door behind us as well.
Before we get to that, Theo, are you just waiting in the hallway for them? Are you heading back anywhere?
He definitely like takes a second, like hyperventilating, and then it's like, I need to find the people in charge and let them know what's going on.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh man!
Oh no.
So he's gonna be trying. I think probably gonna has a while to get back to the main
Yeah.
area,
Yeah.
but that is his goal. Get back and like let the higher officers know. Hey, there's a thing here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So Theo runs off to go, do his job, report what's happening. You slam the door shut, and both of you are sort of, or all of you are sort of catching your breath. And finally, you're able to sort of look around for a moment. You can tell right away that this lab hasn't really been touched much since your mom was in here. She wasn't given like a particularly large room to study in, probably like maybe the size of this room, And you notice near the door there are several like little glass containers that have been dropped and broken, with these sort of almost like now dried out and encrusted like green slime trails, as if she had been studying like part of these plants and they got out into the hallway and were left unchecked for, a while. You also see around several other like small containers with green substances and, oil-based mixtures that you don't really understand. A lot of them look like they've gone bad, like they just look like they're separating weirdly, or whatever sample was being preserved is kind of like dried away or died or whatever it might be. A lot of the lab seems in disrepair, like either, the movements of the ship or the attack kind of knocked things loose, or even like the last person in here might have been just like grabbing things in a hurry, sort of thing. You also see, sort of in the center of the room, there is a very dusty, like, computer.
Okay. I go over to the computer, and I, with the most reverence, I try and see if I can get it to turn on. I've got her key card, but it wouldn't work for the computer.
I think it would like at least turn it on.
Okay.
It flickers open on, it's kind of been sitting here connected. It takes a minute to sort of boot up. You use the key card. There's not much like left on this computer, because when she was removed from the facility, they probably like took a lot of like her access to files. But you do see just a little like folder that says logs on it.
All right. I click in.
Okay. A little password protected like thing pops up.
I put in Woods Hole.
Doesn't work.
I put in Terpsichore.
It unlocks.
And what do I see?
You see 10 short video files.
Oh God. Oh no.
I tell Terry and Jackson to look around for some of the equipment I think I'll need while I'm looking at these. Not explicitly to get them to not listen, but I know that they're just gonna awkwardly listen anyway, but I like to give them something to do while they awkwardly listen in. And I play the first video.
Yeah. It's gonna take you that long to figure out, what like a graduated cylinder is. You're like, graduated? What makes it graduated?
Where are the hats?
It's got a diploma?
Yeah, so the first one, you see her sort of like setting up her little camera feed, and she clears her throat. You can tell this is probably about like 4-ish years ago. And you see this woman who's clearly your mother.
Yeah.
She waits and like, once she sees the camera set up, she says, "Well, I have been asked by the Bastion Corporation to study the biology behind these engines. I'm a little surprised that they apparently haven't done much work on that yet, but I'm excited to be chosen for the task nonetheless. I have been given this inactive engine to study," and she holds up a backpack. E82. It's a pretty fascinating creature. Its biology has so many variables, it's really hard to understand in our terms, but I guess it's able to alter its own genetic structure pretty rapidly. E82 right now, as you can see, is sort of just like the Instagram. Very standard specimen. It doesn't have any... It hasn't really spent a lot of time with a pilot, so it hasn't really adapted in any sort of special way. So I got, a pretty good blank slate here to study on. I am no pilot myself, but I've been doing my best to see if I can connect with E82 anyway, and I'm attempting to gain its trust. it's starting to respond to some of my actions. Obviously, I can't really take it out of this form right now, but I feel like we're getting somewhere nonetheless. Hopefully, I can convince them to allow me to study their transformative properties. And that's the end of the first log.
And I very lovingly touch my backpack. Because
You feel like if she could, she would. You know, there's just sort of a warmth.
Kind of warm hug. I look through and see if any of the logs are. So I know when she died and when she was removed from the space station. So I go to like a middle one and see if I can. See where she got.
Let's see. There is. You could pick just a random one from the middle. There is one towards the end that you feel like the date is very close to, like when you know she was removed from the lab. Do you want to pick that one?
Yeah.
Do you want to pick just a random
I'll
one?
pick the one near the end.
She's clearly somewhere different. It's not the lab anymore. She's closer to the camera. It's kind of dark, and she just looks a little sad. Well, it happened. You know, I've been avoiding being vocal about my concerns for a while, but I couldn't bring myself to lie anymore. I was really worried about Sam and the other pilots, too. They're creating these symbiotic relationships, and we just don't really know the results. I knew, you know, they weren't excited for this research, and they were waiting for an excuse to cut the funding, and my aggressive defense of my thesis just probably didn't really help, but I can't give up. I really want to figure out what's happening here for Sam and his team, and for the other pilots, and for Sally, too. I want her to have a world more promising than this, and I don't know if this is the way. I have to make sense of this puzzle. I stole some of my samples of the spores so I can continue to study its effects on myself, and we'll see what happens. And that was the third to last one.
And we hear all this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's
She was amazing. She was so smart, and I just wanted to be as close as I could to be her. I can't believe she got this far. I'm gonna click the last one.
this one's just a little bizarre. Like, the video is as if she's taking it on like a mobile device, but like not even like pointing at herself, like just walking, and the audio is even a little muffled. Like, you hear her walking, and her voice just doesn't sound right. She's like breathing heavily as she's like power walking, and she's like, I have to find the mother. She's waiting somewhere. She's somewhere close. I have to find her. All of her children, they must miss her so much. I can feel it. Through Terp, I can feel it. I can feel her children's pain for their loss, and it feels like every moment, even when I'm not here on the station, I can feel Terpsichore crying out too. You hear her breathing, and then you hear the sound of like, pretty recognizable, you know at this time, like a key card failing, and then kind of like something being adjusted, and then the key card going through, a door opening. I have to find Terpsichore, and maybe her and I can figure out how to reach her mother together. The video kind of comes bright as the fluorescent lights flicker on, and you realize your mom is back in her lab, where she should not be, and she's just kind of frantically looking around, and she thinks about it for a minute, like clearly struggling to like get her thoughts together, and she goes closer to the camera. Sally, I don't know if I'm gonna make it home. I'm gonna leave my logs here for you. My connection with Terpsichore, it's yours too. The way that Liam is predisposed to the spores because of Sam, it's gotta work for you too. You have to find her, and you have to find the Sailroses. I've done my best to get all these puzzle pieces together. I don't think I'm gonna make it to putting them together. You're such a smart girl. I know you can do it. And the video feed dies.
I was never trying to hide anything from anyone. You know that, right?
Jackson hasn't been looking for any of the things you told him to look for. He has just been staring at the door, white knuckling his gun. Like he's just.
There's so much more to this. There's so much more to this than us. Finding Nocturne is the first step to finding the Sailroses and figuring all of this out.
Terry's just kind of standing there awkwardly because he has no skin in any of what was mentioned. He's just like, well, damn.
Terry, go find Theo.
I will. Yeah,
There's a monster outside. There's another.
There won't be. And Jackson's gonna like hit the door panel.
Okay.
And I just kind of want Hoverboard to just hand and like crush whatever goo is left,
Ooh,
like
okay.
through
Just,
the
like,
paneling.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's like a defy roll if you want to use one of your
Defy.
hoverboard links.
And then I'm gonna use a Hoverboard link,
Mhm.
and then just to make sure he'll push himself, just for the
Okay.
just for the fun.
Yeah. Let's
I
go.
think I'm the only one who hasn't pushed myself. I have no stress.
4.
You're just vibing. You're in your lane.
Terry really is just
Only
vibing.
vibes.
Okay. So that was definitely a desperate roll that you just made. So you can mark a XP in Sun for that. Okay. So Hoverboard is just gonna like through the ground because she's outside is what you're thinking, right? And the hand comes through and she just like she crushes the stuff in her hand. She takes significant damage to her arm. And you almost like how Terry's been describing, you almost feel it in your own hand, like just sort of this pain as if you had like punched through glass, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel pleasant. But she powers through it and she kind of like takes her hand back out as, you know, there's now these big like scars in her hand from doing this for you. There is now a big hole in the floor. So you're going to have to be exceptionally careful unless you're just like mag booting your way out.
Yeah, I was gonna say they can jump mag boots.
Yeah, no, you know, it's a lot riskier of a hallway now. But
Terry is just kind of looking at this like, oh, I need to go. Like
the vibes are not good.
The
in here.
vibes are not what Terry's about right now. This is yeah, Terry's gonna carefully make his way around using the mag boots on like the wall or something. And
Yeah, you just like awkwardly mag boot out.
I'll go find Theo, and I'm gonna try and track down Theo.
Yeah, you could try to like communicate with him if you want.
Oh yeah, that's true.
If you're like outside
yeah.
on the ship, like
Hey, Theo, where are you right now?
I'm getting back up. We'll be fine. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. I'll get back up.
1, not needed at the moment. 2, let's
like,
take it down a notch or 2.
You're like hitting the elevator button to like get up to like Fleet Admiral Eiffel's like
Yeah.
office.
You can nix the backup. It's taken care of. Thing is, space goop now. No longer ship goop. It is now space goop,
There's a Leviathan on the ship.
and it's
We
gone.
You can't use the engines.
It's gone. It's all right. It was taken care of. It was human-sized. Human solution took care of it.
You're sure?
I watched it get destroyed.
Bing. The elevator comes down.
Okay. 100% sure we don't.
I am pretty darn. I'm 110% sure, bud. I don't know if they got that number where you're from in the future, but we got it here.
It's that southern charm. It's just.
That's so true.
Okay, I guess I'll head back and regroup with everyone.
me and you, we're gonna meet up elsewhere.
Okay.
Sally and the cat need a second.
Okay.
All right. And then I'm gonna go find Theo at the elevator, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, you two go reconvene. Theo, I assume, just looks like very like. And you're deeply uncomfortable from the
Yeah,
bad
I'm just-
energy you just
I have
left.
experienced a lot of trauma in the past few minutes. That is not my trauma.
All right, back to you two in the lab still.
Okay, I start looking around for the things I know I need around the office, and I contemplate trying to get the files off of the computer because it was so nice to see my mom again, but I don't have a USB stick. I don't have a space USB stick on me.
How much oxygen do we have left?
We're in our spacesuits, aren't we?
Yeah.
Or no?
A decent amount, I would say. You've been.
An hour, 2 hours?
Yeah.
All right. Jackson closes the door.
Okay.
You have until we suffocate in the vacuum of space to explain everything over the past 2 days to me.
Or what, Jackson?
I'll shoot you.
Do it. Is that what little I mean to you and what little I mean to this team?
That's not the point.
Don't give me that. You're gonna shoot me because I had secrets I needed to hide? You're gonna shoot me? Don't talk to me like that. No.
Do you say?
No.
Do you like?
Yeah, I say all of this. No, you don't get to talk to me that way. I just saw a ghost, and I know you live with ghosts every day. There's so much more to this than you, Jackson. But if you want no answers, fine. Shoot me.
Jess,
Do it. Shoot me in the chest. Shoot me in the head. Do it. I dare you, Jackson. Or are you going to go and take what we need and figure this out together?
Do you? And he like holds his gun for a second, then he just puts it away, and he goes, "Do you know what together means?"
Yeah.
No,
it means you don't shoot people.
No, stop. I am your lieutenant commander, right? And I know we play hunky-dory, and we all joke around and stuff. But at the end of the day, part of my job in Together is keeping everyone physically together, alive, right? I don't know what that stuff was with your mom. I'm not going to pretend to. I just want an explanation. Because if you or them get hurt because of something you held back from me, I'll never forgive you or myself for failing that.
And which of us just threatened to kill the other one, Jackson?
I just...
Together means we stay together. We don't split the party. We don't
It
keep
doesn't-
doing
it means
this.
you
No,
don't-
you stop. No. I want nothing more than the safety of all of my friends, of my planet. And we have dabbled into something that is unacceptable. And I am trying my best. I am. And I want to know that we're together. No more secrets. No more lies. I had to, Jackson. I'm from outside. I'm from Woods Hole. I'm here on forged papers.
Calm. Jackson like pulls his gun out and he like undoes the magazine and just throws it to the side.
You want honesty, you've got it, Jackson.
It's been pretty hard to trust you up until now. Not gonna lie. Right? I get it. You're not from around here. You don't understand how things are done. That's fine. But you have to understand that from where I'm from, when the commander says sit, you sit, and when you jump, you ask how high.
From you,
No,
Jackson?
stop.
That's real rich.
Stop.
From you?
Yes, from me. I get it. Right? Just, I don't want to shoot you. I
You're
don't
not
wanna
going to
anybody.
shoot me. You're going to grab the stuff that we need to grab before we're going to get out of here.
And you are going to listen to me. Part of us working like a team, right, is trust, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I can't trust you as far as I can throw you right now. So just, before I do anything, before I pick up any glassware, before I get any goo from any vials.
I'm gonna need so much goo, Jackson.
Shut. Before I do anything, goo related, goo adjacent. I just need perfect honesty. Right? I just need you to tell me. Because at this point, I've hit a breaking point. What do you know about these things that we don't?
So much, Jackson.
Tell me now.
No, we're
Simplify
going to
TLDR it.
we are going to work together, and that means our whole team.
No.
Yes.
Together means on equal footing, right?
So together only means together when you say it's together. We have
No,
2 other
together
members
means
of
on
our
equal
team.
footing, not you telling me what to do, right?
I leave.
He's blocking the door.
I have the key card to the door. I
You've
go.
reached, all right. He goes.
We're bringing the team back together.
He goes.
And I'm going
"You
to
know
tell
what?
everyone.
You open the key to the door and you get like pulled out by the big space hole.
I'm in a spacesuit.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You just
fine.
like angrily stare at Jackson as you get like sucked into the hallway
I
and
stop. Spacewalk.
Fine. We'll do it how you want. What do you need?
I'm out. I left. I'm going back to the hangar.
He says it over the radio.
Oh, I'm going to the hangar.
Just say what you need.
The list that I gave you earlier, which is mostly goo, and several of their instruments. You'll know them by their labels, and I give you the list.
All right. Jackson is going to find the things, and gather them all up.
yeah, you get all
Make
the
it
goo.
nice. And like, before he goes, he like, is there like a file cabinet?
Yeah, there's not much in there.
All right. Jackson is going to. Is the computer like on a desk? Is it like a laptop? Is it?
It's probably like laptop-y. It's
All right. He closes it, and he just takes it with him.
okay.
And he just, or he, instead of going the way they go, he hops in a hoverboard and just climbs up on the side.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So you take all your goo and laptop and whatnot and put them into hoverboard, and you leave, passing by Sally, who's stomping her way back to the airlock, I imagine.
I'm on a spacewalk. I could get into surgery, but I need to take a minute and calm down.
Okay. So, I would say that is the mission handled.
Something's been handled.
If you guys would like to take a moment to use that other half of downtime
Oh,
that
sure.
we're held on to, I think that would be a good time to do so.
Okay.
So take a moment to decide what you would like to do.
Does this downtime happen after we've all like made it back into the
Yeah,
hangar?
I would assume there have been a couple hours to like take a breath at this point.
Okay.
It's probably at this point like almost dinner time.
Okay.
You missed brunch.
Oh!
And
always-
Winner.
Oh!
You missed pancake lunch. What are you gonna do?
It's just pancakes all day. The later they get, the soggier they get.
It's pancake day. It's the whole day. Military budget for food, not high. It's just pancakes.
Can I work on, since I have 4 segments done out of 6, can I work on finishing my long-term project, I guess?
I have to check because technically this is still
Would I have
the
to wait
same
for another session?
downtime. I
Oh,
think
okay.
you can't work on the same
Gotcha,
project
never
twice.
mind then.
'Cause technically we just chose to kind of split it up this time.
That's right, we did, yes.
Yeah.
My bad. Can I bond with my engine? Can I bond with Icarus after everything we've just seen? And
Yeah, absolutely.
after everything, like, I already am, like, feeling different about him, so.
Sure. Yeah, you head back to the hangar. You have to do the
That's where I was
full-
heading anyways, basically.
You, I imagine you walk over, you remember that the lift is not working. You're like,
Yeah.
You spacewalk back out and around,
Yes.
and you find yourself in the hangar.
Yep. So I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna put my hand on Icarus, but I'm not gonna let him absorb me.
Okay.
Because the everything I just saw has left me very unsettled, especially since I'm noticing that I am feeling more of what Icarus is feeling. So I'm trying to see if that connection stays as strong as it was before. Is it stronger when we're touching even when I'm outside of him? Like, is it how strong is this bond, and has it gotten stronger since this morning when we did it?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Is there some kind of roll you can make to like try to understand this?
Perceive?
Yeah, and if you want to use a Icarus link, if you have them, so.
I'm not going to use an
Okay.
Icarus link.
Sure.
Terry's trying, but he's very hesitant. So, got a 3.
Okay. So you're trying to bond. So first of all, that does translate into 2 links, with Icarus.
Gotcha.
It's really like, it's hard for you to tell. It's still at this sort of very, almost like vague in the back of your head level. And Icarus himself doesn't really seem to be like super emotionally charged right now. You know, he is unaware of like
Yeah.
the sort of discord happening amongst everyone. So he's just kind of like, here, you know, he's maybe a little anxious because he knows you guys have cut off the power for some reason. But, you know, between touching and not touching, you're not really noticing any sort of like key differences.
Gotcha.
You are, I would say, you don't really feel him physically like you did when you were sitting and meditating with him, but that's not like a huge shock. That was something you had to like really sit and like tap into.
Gotcha.
But that's what you get.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I think Terry kind of noticing that like Icarus doesn't have any sort of reaction, and like knowing
Yeah.
what he knows now of like earlier when he was like, okay, I'm feeling what Icarus is feeling, but it doesn't seem like Icarus feels what I feel as much as I feel from him. So I think Terry's gonna kind of just step away from Icarus a little hesitant and walk away. Just kind of leave Icarus there when he's normally spending a lot of his time with Icarus. It's noticeably different for him.
He was a little still before, but as you walk away, he does like almost like turn and watch you like confused. Like he can kind of, you do get the sense that he senses there's something up with you, and he's like a big 40-foot robot, so he's not really gonna be like, hey, but,
Yeah.
but you know, he's like, oh,
Yep. All right.
okay. Anyone else?
I think Jackson's just gonna help a friend recover and just help Hoverboard fix its hand.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's see. I'm not sure how that works on Hoverboard, because Hoverboard doesn't really mark like stress or harm or anything like that.
Could do it as a bond.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bond is probably better just because there's not really any mechanical reason for you to help Hoverboard recover.
All right.
But yes, if you guys are worried about your stress levels, you can't help each other with that.
I'm a little worried about Mr. Smith.
I'm still at nothing, baby.
You're cruising.
Terry is vibing, but he is uncomfortable.
Yeah. Or actually, yeah, you're right. Hoverboard is scarred, but like isn't game mechanics wise isn't hurt.
Yeah, no, there's not really much.
All right, then you know what? I'll help a friend recover. I'm gonna go up to Theo.
Okay. So you will describe how you are supporting Theo's healing process.
When does he next see Theo? What is Theo up to?
I think after everything goes down, Theo just goes to the hangar and is just standing in front of Brickstorm. And just, you see him like staring at Brickstorm, both of them motionless.
I think Jackson like walks up. He looks and he goes, I'm not mad.
I am.
Why?
We weren't supposed to be there. Without our engines. Defenseless. There's a way this is supposed to go. And you led us into danger.
You know, it's funny. I have led you into danger since the minute you walked through the door. What made this time different?
I was alone. It was me. It was me and that thing. Brickstorm wasn't there. None of you were there. It was just me.
But it wasn't. I was on the other side. If you needed my help, I could have helped. Look, Theo. No matter what, if you thought I was there or not, that's not what matters. You can be alone.
Yeah.
Do you... What part of that is so upsetting?
We're supposed to be there. We're supposed to go out and protect people. But how are we supposed to do that if we're not safe? I thought I knew what this was all about.
Yeah.
I almost turned you in, you know?
I know.
That's where I was going. I was going to your dad. Gonna tell him everything about what we're doing, about a Leviathan on the ship, about trying to get an engineering and whatever you all were doing there. I was gonna give him Nocturne. I don't know. I thought we were all on the same team. But it's like we're all working at different things when there's just one mission, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I don't know what it's like where you're from. I really don't. And I'm sorry no one's here to relate to you on that level. I am. We live in difficult times. You live here with us, right? I know you're from somewhere else, but you live here. There's one thing you gotta know. And I'm sorry. I failed today. The main thing I should have told you guys, and I should have had you all see, is it doesn't matter that you didn't choose to be here, right? And it doesn't matter that some of us did, and that's not what's important, is that we're together. And part of together and part of that is you always have each other's backs no matter what page anyone's on, right? I don't know if you got siblings back from where you're from, but the first thing I learned coming here, meeting Hoverboard, meeting the Sailroses, Sam always had my back, even when we weren't on the same page, even when he wanted nothing more than to kill me. He went along with my lies. He followed my, he told me what to do. I had his back, he had mine, no matter what happens, right? And I'm sorry. I failed because you didn't know that. I want you to know that. Theo, I think you can be alone. I trust you to be alone. And I trusted you with Nocturne because I knew you could do it. I didn't do it because I thought you were going to sell me out to my dad or anything like that. Right? I trust you guys. That's part of together. It's trust that's deeper than actions and bonds. It's trust that runs through all of this. I know, right? I know that you probably were point blank in front of my dad's door, but I knew you wouldn't have done it. Because you know that I have your back just as you have mine. Just as he has yours. Whatever this is, this weird family, it relies on trust. And at this point, like, Jackson kind of like turns and can I put a hand on your shoulder? All right. Jackson like turns and goes like this, and he goes, I failed you, but I still trust you, and I hope you can trust me. Okay? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think that's like where the,
Cool.
the kind of scene cuts off.
So I did lie. You can't undo stress.
The good news.
Oh,
Just take that back.
You remember that scene? Chat, we're gonna rewind real quick.
The good news is you do have a harm.
Yeah, I do.
So you can roll Jackson to help him deal with being shocked. You know, this is really all made him feel less.
Oh my goodness.
I think just separately, because I do have...
That's a 2.
That whole speech for nothing.
You can mark 2 little things on your recovery
Okay.
clock. As you're... I think the flavor of that is that through this conversation, you are sort of bolstered to do your best. And right now that means ignoring the fact that you mildly shocked yourself earlier. You're kind of trying to, like, put on this brave face, I think, as you're figuring out kind of how you feel about everything and kind of push through this and be the person you need to be, even if you're not sure what that is yet. You're still very stressed.
So, separately, I do have links with Jackson. Can I spend one of those links? Because one of the actions for spending links is to reduce or recover 2 stress.
I think it's the opposite. Like, he can spend a link on
It's,
you. But yes.
It says you or a linked protagonist recovers 2 stress.
Yeah.
So I think it can go both ways.
I assume so. Is that just a stress ability?
Just part of the one of the ways to spend links.
Got it. So you can reduce each
That
other.
speech was for
All
something.
right, yeah, speech
Yay!
Yay!
Yippee! Yeah, you spend a link, you reduce your stress.
Great.
Cool. We're figuring it out.
As I was stomping, I instead get into Terpsichore while we're out there in space, because that's another best way to travel. And I get back into the hangar, and I stay in Terpsichore. I can communicate outward when I'm in her. Correct? Well, I can talk to them whenever I want with my brain. Oh, I'll just do that, actually. Hey, guys, this is a bit weird, but it's us. Sally, Terpsichore, it's us. I'm in your brain. It's only a little. Don't worry. Can you, Jackson? I'm going to make a connection with Jackson.
Okay.
Can you get Nocturne ready for us to look at? Please.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Theo, I'm gonna need your briefcase, buddy.
Yeah, Theo gets in Brickstorm, and then just the briefcase falls out, and Theo is staying in there.
Okay.
I'm just imagining Terry looking at this and going, well, now they ask someone.
Unstressed, unbothered.
Why Icarus open? But we'll ask Brickstorm.
Yeah,
I've
just
tried.
like suitcase type object drops out, like rattles on the floor, and Theo does not follow it.
I've tried Icarus open before. It's normal.
Huh?
I told you this. Anyway.
I know that this is an area of your expertise. Please, let's get Nocturne as close to intact as we can, unpackaged in the... We have enough space for this. The hangar's humongous because it's got all the robots in it. So,
Literally, like,
Yeah, so we've got like a little impromptu, not quite operating table, but to get her.
I think Jackson actually got like
Oh, up
her
in
little
the-
hanger thing.
Perfect.
setting
Yeah, so we can just
ready.
have her
Yep.
hanging up where she normally was.
Yep.
All right. Jackson kind of like takes it over and like sets it up, begins like unfurling it. Does it unfurl or?
Yeah, it just like you know what to do to make it sort of like
All right.
sort of just balloons up into Icarus or into Nocturne.
Would you like to assist me doing this analysis? We can talk as much as you want or as little as you want. That is up to you. But if you want answers, now that we are all together, I'm talking with you all in my brain. This is a perfect time for us to talk about it, which we can do later. But would you like to work with me?
Sure. Do you want to get out of the big robot first, or?
I think this will provide valuable insight, and this way I don't have to use any lifts. I'm about the same size as Nocturne. She's quite dexterous, and I flip open my very elegant long mantis fingers, not my claws. I believe we have the precision needed. Fingers, not claws. You got everything out of the engineering?
As requested.
Thank you. I really appreciate this.
It's no problem. Jackson kind of like reaches or like Hoverboard produces this like kind of pneumatic tube. He hands to she kind of like hands to Jackson. Jackson just kind of like hands it up to Terpsichore.
Thank you for the goo. And I begin my analysis, but continue talking to and trying to get on better footing with Jackson.
Okay. Yeah. You're able to like it's within your wheelhouse to repair, so you're able to sort of like fix up the parts of Nocturne that need to be repaired, with your goo and whatnot.
Yeah.
You're struggling to really like for all intents and purposes, like what this in front of you is just like a damaged mech. There's
Yeah.
nothing like super new you're figuring out about it, just from like looking at it.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna need to do more tests. I still have Elena's blood. I could do that.
You still have several of your mother's logs you could look
And I do have a lot of my mother's
Sure.
logs. And you have the laptop, it seems.
I do.
Would you like to figure this out?
Sounds like you have it handled. Kind of like produces the laptop and just puts it on your desk.
Okay.
While like they're doing stuff, Jackson's gonna like run a regular diagnostic, not like a plant diagnostic,
Yeah.
whatever Terpsichore does. Jackson's just gonna like run a regular plug a tablet in, figure out what was the last signal sent.
Like Sally is more doing these sort of like naturalistic like repairs to the thing that are a little more advanced than your thing of just like slap a big metal band-aid over it and wait for it to like incorporate that into its being kind of thing. But yeah, you start like trying to figure out what sort of happened. And from like this sort of readable diagnostic scan of what you've been able to like send as signals to be read, there's not really much to see. Like the eject was just never triggered. There wasn't a sort of malfunction. It doesn't even look like Elena pressed it. Like the last few signals being sent were just like attack maneuvers and things like that. Like it seems like she was very much like in a headspace, like in a zone.
All right. That's all he can gather. It's all he can gather.
Yeah, no, I think like the lack thereof is like puzzling, because I think you had this idea that maybe like it was tried and failed, but again, it seems like it was just never attempted.
Do you appreciate me attempting to make a connection with you?
No.
Works for me. 1!
Yay! You get 2 links.
I'll take 'em.
Jackson.
I'll take them.
Since Sally called all of us with her brain power.
Yep, it's
Our,
A brain blast, if you will.
yes, a brain blast. Were Terry and Theo also like watching them do this back and forth in the hangar, since we were both also in the hangar?
Yeah, you're all in the hangar at this
Okay.
point.
Is it noticeable to Terry that like they're not making any progress at all?
I guess if you're paying attention, you know, like nobody's like shocked by some big like scientific discovery. You know, it all looks to be very standard. Like, you know,
I got you.
there's the passing of this laptop at one point, but that's really like there's nothing else. Like, Jackson just has his head in like reading signals and whatnot, and. Right. Is there anything else you wanted to do?
I'll definitely be taking the laptop and looking through the rest of those notes
Sure.
of my mom's.
I think we'll pop over to. Did you do a downtime yet?
Nope.
I have not.
Do you want to do that first, and then we can deal
Oh,
with
yeah.
laptop stuff?
Sure.
Yeah. So Theodore is gonna try and bond with his engine.
Yeah,
Aw.
that's fair. So you're just kind of like up
Just keep
inside of
staring up at her.
Brickstorm, like in your safe spot. Up. What are you doing?
Yeah. So he's trying to like find that emotional connection that like everybody else describes having with their engine, and he's just never felt. And so he's really just looking for any semblance of like anything he can find to connect with Brickstorm.
Okay. Is there a particular type of role you would like to make?
I think confess. I think this is the first time, like, Theodore's, like, willing to open up to
Okay.
Brickstorm.
Yeah, you sort of like make yourself more vulnerable and available to like have this connection with this engine. You can go ahead and roll.
4.
Okay, yeah. So first of all, you'll gain 3 links with Brickstorm. You're sitting and you're not really sure what you're supposed to be doing here, but you're kind of just like, you know, doing what you feel like meditating and connecting with this thing should be. And then you hear this sort of strange voice in your head. It says, "You okay, Theo?" And you sort of look, and it doesn't sound like any of your friends. In fact, all your friends are busy.
What?
Are you okay?
No?
I'm just imagining all of us like hearing him talk to himself.
You just hear like some muffled talking inside of Brickstorm. I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do?
Is this you?
Yeah, this is me. Been trying to talk to you for a while. I don't know if you're always listening.
I didn't even think all the engines like talked like this. Nothing for months, and now just I can have a conversation with you?
Well, I don't know if they all do. Like I said, I've been saying things. You don't always answer, or you don't ever answer. Well, now you answer, but before that, you know, it wasn't really. You know, it's like there was a wall, and there's still kind of a, but I don't know.
Okay. I have a million questions I have wanted to ask someone, and that someone's probably you.
Okay. I could try.
Did you bring me here?
I don't know, did I? I mean, it's kind of weird if you think about it, because that probably happened to you already, but not me. So maybe I did, and I just don't know yet. You know, time's a little weird, especially for me. It's like,
Okay.
like maybe I did. I don't know.
All right, well, I have significantly less questions I think you can answer now.
I think maybe you're just like supposed to be here. And I'm supposed to be here, and we're supposed to be here, like, you know, together.
Okay. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Then I think that's okay.
Okay.
I got nothing else.
Okay. I guess we could just hang out then.
Yeah.
He gets the sense that you don't want to talk anymore. He just does his best to be quiet.
Yeah, he was just like stunned and just like contemplating everything and just I don't got a lot more words right now. But I'm definitely gonna try and talk to you again.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but he
Okay,
just
here.
chills.
Alright. Cool. Alright, so with that,
So I get the
as you're
laptop.
having your crazy
You're like losing
I,
it in the
I get to the laptop and I say with my brain. Now I'm just not talking out loud anymore. I'm just saying stuff with my
full
brain.
brain cell.
I'm like I tell everyone, okay, I'm not keeping any secrets anymore. I want everyone to see this, so I don't have to relay it into your brains. That I just don't want to do it. This is the last time. Also, I'll ask for permission next time. Please come over here when you can, and take a look. So I call up people over. If they come, they come. But I had to look through the logs of my momos.
So you've been invited to watch these vlogs.
Terry walks over, and the first words out of his mouth are, "So is that a two-way communication? Can you see into my brain?"
No, don't worry. You can just hear I can just talk to you in your brain. I can't see what you're thinking or hear what you're thinking.
Can we all do that?
No.
Should I be able to do that? All right. Terry's definitely even more uncomfortable than he was before. He's learned all these crazy secrets about other people, and now he knows that someone he's been working alongside can speak into his brain.
It's me.
And it's not a two-way street, which he doesn't know if that makes him more uncomfortable or less uncomfortable.
Theodore comes over and like makes eye contact with you, but is clearly like staring past you.
Just 1,000-yard stare.
I just talked to your brain. Did you hear it?
A lot of people here.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay. And I push play on
You
the.
just want to do like the second one?
Yeah, whichever one pokes. If Terpsichore nudges me anywhere, I push that one. But really, I want to see all of these. But I know we don't have time for you to relive. But yeah, I see whichever one calls out to see.
You just you go to the one you haven't watched yet. I'll say number 2. You know.
Sure.
It's a quicker one. She again kind of puts the camera and she gets closer and she seems like actually a little hopeful in this one. She says, I've been making all these requests to Bastion to let me study one of the pilots, and they haven't really been that excited for that. You know, it's taken a lot of convincing. You know, they declined initially and said the pilots just wouldn't have time. But the other day, I was able to catch up with Sam Sailrose in the station, and I asked him if he could maybe talk to the fleet admiral about if he could help me out. And the next day he was here, and he said that Fleet Admiral Eiffel approved it, so long as it doesn't cause disruptions. So I'm really hopeful that this is going to be a good step forward.
Do I see that, like, the next date is... Do I see if any dates are close to the day that Sam died?
No, this was several years. Like, your
Okay.
mom ceased her research before he died.
Oh.
Jackson hears Sam's name, and he at first like ignored that this was happening. He did not show up,
Yeah.
and then he hears Sam's name, and then he kind of gets up from working on a hoverboard or doing whatever he's doing, and he kind of slowly kind of walks over.
Okay. Do you want to click the next one?
Yeah, I do.
This one seems to be like a couple weeks later. You know, these are pretty well spaced out. Like she's just kind of like remembering to keep these journals occasionally when something happens. I've learned a lot thanks to Sam. Like I thought this was a step in the right direction. I've been taking samples from him and his engine, who he calls Agnes, and he helped me take samples from Agnes, and I think I'm finding something. I'm excited. Samples from Mr. Sailrose, including his blood and skin biopsies, show that he has traces of the same living matter as the aliens. It's kind of a bit reductive because I don't have a better name for it right now, but right now I'm just calling it spores. The spores, they have, in a sense, sort of infected Sam and seem to communicate between him and Agnes in a way, almost like they're sending these signals via this matter. Both his and Agnes's genetic makeup are almost like adapting via the introduction of these spores to communicate better with each other. I think this process was jump-started by Agnes themselves when they chose Sam. I'm wondering if it's a process I can replicate. And that's the end of that one.
Would I have access to the equipment that would let me analyze? I mean, I feel like I don't even need to at this point. I feel like we know what we need to know from him, that she was working with Nocturne for a long time, so same kind of,
Yeah.
we'd find the same kind of
But
thing.
yeah, you could probably run similar tests.
Okay.
There's probably some jargon thrown in there that you're
Okay.
like, oh yeah.
Perfect. Do you want me to keep going, Jackson?
You can keep going for them. I've heard enough. And Jackson, is the hangar like elevator working yet?
No.
Full of pancake.
Jackson like goes towards the hangar and just like drops, and Hoverboard just kind of catches him, and he
Okay.
begins heading towards the main deck.
All right.
I see if anything else sticks out that it looks like it could be related to the mission. I know that they died after she left, but could be related to Sam, because I know that that's one of our interests in continuing that line of thought. So if there's any sort of labeling system or numbering system that makes me think it's about Sam.
I think they're all just kind of like generic.
Oh, gosh. I asked her if she remembers anything that would help me find more info about Sam and what their experiments were like. Like if she remembers dates, because eventually they got, she was talking to my mom.
Yeah.
So,
She will kind of inspect and try to remember, you know. I don't know that engines are like the best at dates and times.
probably not.
But she thinks maybe to check the one like before your mom got removed. Like the
Okay.
one just before the one you looked at earlier.
Okay. I check.
It's like she seems a little less like energetic. Like there seems to be a bit more concern now. Well, Sam came to Terp and me today, and he was pretty distressed. He usually doesn't share a lot of, like, information with me unless I ask it. You know, I think it's just, like, an abundance of caution. But he brought his own concern in right off the bat. He said that he's been training a lot with Agnes, like, day and night. The stress clearly really getting to him. And he said that the more time he's been spending, he doesn't know if he's just really tired or really overworked, but he feels like he doesn't remember as much about his training sessions. He said at a point on a mission he felt disembodied from himself while he was working with Agnes. He said he didn't really feel as though it was Agnes that was in charge more than himself. It was more like their bond itself was compelling them, is how he explained it. I'm certain this has something to do with the increase in the spore samples that I've been noting in his blood. It's like the alien matter is communicating back and forth between him and Agnes, and the need for them to do so, like, verbally or even physically is fading. I just wonder who's in charge in this sort of, like, symbiosis they've created. Are either of them? Meanwhile, I've continued to take a controlled dose of these spore samples. I feel like as I increase my own dosage, I understand what Terpsichore wants to say to me beyond emotions. It's like sometimes even without words, I feel there's this sort of mutual understanding between us. When I biopsy myself, I find that these spore samples are changing. It's like my DNA and these spores are sequencing themselves to match better, and like Terpsichore too as part of that. I wonder if there's some sort of genetic component to this connection. We don't know what it means. And that's the end of that.
Would I be able to see any like her files if there's the amounts of the Sam's levels, so I could compare it to Elena's test sample?
Yeah, I would say you can find it.
Are they similar, or was Elena like super bonded? That she'd been here for a long time.
Right. I would say the levels that she was showing were sort of on par to some of the last ones that she took of Sam, but you know in your head that like Sam lived a couple more years after that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not a solid answer, but something was happening there. She was on a similar path, but like Sam was probably already at where Elena was at this point when he was talking to your mother, and that would have happened years before he passed.
Wow. Okay. I share. Well, they're with me while I'm doing this. I share all this information.
Terry this whole time has been pretty silent because he doesn't understand most of what's being said, but he
Me pretending I know what a biopsy is.
no, literally, and he just kind of looks from the laptop to Icarus, and he's not looking at anyone. He's just looking at Icarus when he says that. And he goes, "Your mom said it before in the video we watched in her lab, and I'm gonna say it again, like I said before. I think we got to find the Sailroses. She mentioned Sam a lot in those logs, and clearly something similar happened to Elena or something like that. If what you're explaining to me I'm making sense of, is that they were in a similar situation. Sam lived a little longer after that. Maybe they didn't go after him because they were way worse off than Elena was."
I take my own blood. Like, not necessarily during this conversation, but I try. I'm gonna test myself and see where we're at. I've been here for a little over a year. You've been here. We're just trying to have to figure out how long we've been exposed to all of this, and we can maybe make some sense of this and compare the data. I'm sorry. Yes, we need to figure out where the Sailroses were, and we need to figure out where they were going, especially before they died.
If I may throw out an idea here, and again, I'm not the smartest of us, but I can listen to a video log. Your mother in that one where she was if we're being honest, a little off a rocker. It said that she was looking for the mother and that she had to find the Sailroses. And in these, she said she was injecting herself with these spores and they were changing her genetic makeup or whatever. Right? What if the Sailroses, when each of them individually, you know, passed away or died in action supposedly, were looking for that mother she was talking about? What if that was a similar goal and that's why she was looking for them? If she was injecting herself with these things, she was forcing them into her body faster than any of us may naturally gain them. So she may have just, for lack of a better word, sped run her way through it. It's like a movie plot, really.
I ask in Jackson's brain if he's ready to talk.
I'll be down there in like 5
Like
minutes.
stress eating pancakes.
I'll be down there in 20 minutes.
It's gone from 5 to 20.
I think we need our first step is to find out as much as we can, whatever has been. I'm sure that all of it, if they're all looking after something that is not in the exactly government work, it was probably all very classified. But maybe we can find a way in, and maybe we can find out where they were heading, and maybe we can find a reason to go. Or I just know that there's answers there.
We'll talk when I get back.
Okay. I think that is a good place to leave our downtime.
Beautiful.
As it were. So that leaves us with our fallout. You guys spent most of your time at the Bastion this time, so the Bastion doesn't suffer from you being gone.
Aw.
That's good. There's just a hole in the ship now.
Yeah, it suffers from you being here, but you know.
There's no mechanics for that.
You gotta break some eggs to make an omelet. Some poor welder is just gonna be like, what is this?
The ironworkers on board are like, what?
We need to handle actually the last Bastion's downtime real quick before we switch to Fallout. So the Leviathan tier is currently at 1 stone. So we roll 1 action.
Oh, we have 1 mark on the Leviathan?
Yes.
Gotcha, I forgot to do that last time.
Hey, the training facility's open now.
Hey!
Yay! So you can erase that upgrade track as some other people around the ship make that happen while you guys are busy breaking other parts of the ship. So you now have an operational training
It all
facility.
balances out.
Yeah. And I'll fill in that dot.
It's like that guy with the cabbage card from the last Avatar where he's like, and then like he's pointing to it. And then
My
suddenly
Bastion!
my spaceship!
So
Your dad's just like, oh!
Why is there a hole in the wall?
once again,
Why is it fish shaped?
dissent has spread within the Bastion as things continue to get increasingly uncomfortable between everybody. And I think that is where we leave it for today.
Nice.
Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us tonight. If you enjoyed what you watched, feel free to go ahead and smash that subscribe button, ring that bell, and you can catch us just about anywhere at Tabletop Gaming CT. Thank you so much, and have a great night.